While taking a nice, relaxing bath, a young woman just happened to doze off. The next thing she knew, she'd fallen into a lake. She struggled frantically but couldn't feel the edge of her bathtub. After calming down and taking a good look, she realized she was in a completely different world. Lena figured she had to be dreaming, so she immediately pinched hard on the wrist. The pain was so real it nearly scared the pee out of her. It was then she realized she'd actually been transported to another world. Suddenly, a strange sound came from the shore. If there are wild animals around, I'm toast. Lena shut her eyes tight, lying in the water, and desperately hoping to wake up in her own tub. But when she slowly opened her eyes, she saw a pair of large feet approaching. She jolted in fear and shot out of the water. Before she could react, a man lifted her up like a kitten. Lena's mind went blank. Wow, he's handsome. Where did he come from? The man, however, was staring at her with glowing eyes. What a cute little female. His stare sent a shiver down her spine. She instinctively looked down and her own eyes nearly popped out. You big pervert, put some clothes on. Fat tears welled up in her eyes. Seeing this, the man's heart softened with a pang of sympathy, and he quickly promised he wouldn't hurt her. Lena finally let her guard down a little. Then put me down. The man gently set her on the ground. The moment her feet touched the earth, Lena took off faster than a rabbit. The man watched her go. You're too slow. I can catch you no matter where you run. Lena froze in her tracks. Could you at least put on some clothes first? I was taking a bath, so of course I'm naked, aren't you? Lena wanted to cry. He was right, and she had no comeback. Her eyes darted around and spotted a piece of clothing. She grabbed it, only to realize it was her own towel. Little female, where's your male? Lena was completely lost. What do you mean, female and male? My name is Kaiser. I'm a male beastman. You're a female. Hearing this, it finally dawned on Lena she had traveled to a world of beastmen. Just then, with a whoosh, Kaiser transformed into a majestic white tiger. Tiger monster. Lena stumbled in fear and fell back into the lake. If this is a nightmare, please let me wake up soon. But reality wasn't on her side. When she woke up again, she was lying on the tiger's back. Lena instinctively touched the fur. So soft. Is this a blanket? Kaiser's voice rumbled beside her ear. You're finally awake. Lena's eyes flew open. This isn't a blanket, it's tiger fur. A chill ran down her spine and she began to tremble. Kaiser stopped, shifted back into his human form, and leaped into a tree. Stay here. With that, he untied his leather loincloth. Lena shrieked, You pervert! What are you doing? Kaiser just tossed a dagger and his loincloth down to her, before transforming back into a tiger and jumping down from the tree. Where is that tiger going? It turned out he was hunting a wild boar. The boar scrambled to escape, but it was no match for a tiger, and was quickly taken down with a bite to the throat. Lena was dumbfounded. That bite force is terrifying. I wouldn't even be a snack for him. After dealing with the boar, Kaiser told Lena to jump down from the tree. Are you kidding me? I'd break my legs jumping from this high up. She hesitated on the branch, too scared to jump. Seeing her delay, Kaiser zipped up the tree, scooped her into his arms, and leaped down. Kaiser took the dagger from Lena, expertly skinned the boar, and draped the processed hide over her. Suddenly, Lena heard a ding. Congratulations, host, for obtaining 1 wild boar hide. Beginner's quest triggered. Collect 3 animal hides to receive a starter pack. Lena froze, only snapping out of it when Kaiser called her name. Tiger monster? No, Kaiser, thank you. Her adorable reaction completely melted the big tiger's heart. Kaiser handed her a piece of bloody raw meat. Want some? Lena recoiled, shaking her head. Seeing that she wouldn't eat it, Kaiser walked away. A few minutes later, he returned with bright red fruits. Lena took one and popped it in her mouth. You only eat fruit and not meat? Are you a herbivore beast man? Lena chuckled. I guess you could call me an omnivore. I just don't eat raw meat, I like it cooked. Kaiser was confused. How do you cook meat? Lena thought for a moment. First, you need fire. Have you ever seen fire? Kaiser frowned and nodded. Fire is incredibly destructive and terrifying to beastmen. Lena had an idea, starting a fire by rubbing sticks together. She was confident at first, but after half an hour, she hadn't even produced a wisp of smoke. After 2 hours of failure, she exploded. TV shows are all lies! Kaiser took Lena's scratched hands and gently kissed her pale skin. Don't hurt yourself. I'll take you to find a fire source. You're my female. I'll get you anything you want. Lena froze and pushed him away. I'm not anyone's female. Despite her strong reaction, Kaiser's gaze remained gentle and firm. He took her hand again, softly licking her fingertips. You don't have to be afraid. I'll protect you. Lena looked at this powerful yet gentle tiger and thought back to her childhood. Her parents had passed away when she was 5, and she'd lived on her own ever since. Long accustomed to a world without protection, Kaiser gently pulled her into his arms. It was the first time since her parents died that she had felt such warmth, and it came from a beastman. She pushed his hands away. I'm okay now, okay? Then why did you faint before? Lena mumbled to herself. Because you, a giant cat, scared me. Kaiser said again. You are my female. Even if you hit me, I won't leave you. Lena got goosebumps. She suddenly remembered the system quest and asked Kaiser to get her a few more animal hides. Kaiser transformed, his private parts on full display, making the girl shield her eyes. Her gaze then drifted to his upper body, where she noticed a wound on his arm. Lena gently touched it, feeling a pang of sympathy. The big tiger got excited and hugged her, nuzzling against her like a clingy cat. Kaiser went to wash the blood off, and Lena waved to him. Suddenly, she heard a ding. Congratulations, host, on completing the beginner's quest. Your starter pack is being delivered. The next second, a package appeared in her hands. She opened it and thought she saw a rotten stick, but it was actually a fire starter. She struck it a few times and lit a torch. She rummaged through the pack to see what other treasures were inside, and found a book, the complete illustrated guide to flora and fauna. Just then, she heard footsteps. Kaiser was walking toward her. Lena quickly hid her things. Kaiser's lips curved into a slight smile. It seems my little female has her secrets. Soon they arrived at the wolf tribe's territory. The beastmen here were all tall and imposing. Compared to them, Lena felt like a tiny pet. Kaiser lifted Lena up. Females are very precious. Be careful not to get eaten alive by some horny wolves. Lena shivered. Looking ahead, she saw a group of male wolves surrounding a single female. It turned out that females held a very high status here. They didn't have to work and could have multiple mates. Lena's eyes widened. The women here have it so good, but being surrounded by that many creeps is terrifying. Kaiser took Lena to see the beastman doctor. A wolf on the side, the tribe leader, glanced over. Isn't that Kaiser? It was originally a lone tiger, so why is it bringing along a female today? A moment later, they reached the doctor's den. When the old doctor saw Lena's stunning beauty, he jumped up in excitement. Little female, how many male mates do you have? Kaiser immediately stepped in front of Lena protectively. This is my female. No one is to get any ideas. The old doctor's face fell. You brat, you actually found a mate! Pity our wolf tribe, we still have so many single males fighting tooth and nail over one female. Lena stood there stunned. This old man was quite the drama queen. The doctor took out a cloth pouch. The little female isn't sick, just a bit delicate. He pulled out some magical-looking fruits and handed them to Lena. She quickly waved her hands to refuse, but the old man shoved them into her hands anyway. He leaned in and whispered in her ear, The young men of our wolf tribe are all handsome and gentle. You could stay a few days and see for yourself. Kaiser, hearing this, became overwhelmed with jealousy. He snatched Lena away from the old man. Not necessary, I can take care of my own female. Next, they went to the market. Kaiser remembered Lena was practically naked, with only a hide wrapped around her, so he decided to buy her some clothes. All the clothes here were made of real leather. Lena picked one out and went to a corner to change. The clothes at the Beastman market were ridiculously huge, big enough to fit two of her. She wanted to alter them, but only had rough twine and a stone needle. Just as she was worrying, she had a flash of inspiration and took a pin off her hair tie. Kaiser took out some gold coins and asked the shopkeeper if he had any smaller clothes. The greedy shopkeeper grinned from ear to ear. She's so petite, she can try on a few more sets. But by then, Lena had already changed. The two beastmen stared, dumbfounded, their eyes sparkling like love-struck teenagers as they let out excited howls. Lena instinctively covered her chest, and Kaiser rushed forward. You look beautiful. Lena's face turned as red as an apple, as she chuckled and scratched her head. Do you have any shoes? The beastmen, who had never worn shoes, were completely baffled. Lena then remembered she was in a beastman market. Of course they wouldn't wear shoes. Kaiser glanced down and saw Lena's delicate feet were covered in scratches. He told the shopkeeper to bring her a piece of animal hide. Lena took the hide, a wave of gratitude washing over her. With this tiger by her side, this world didn't seem so scary anymore. They were about to leave when a wolf beastman stopped them. The shaman invites you to be his guest. Kaiser's eyes narrowed. The wolf tribe has too many males and not enough females. They're all single. My little female is not staying here. He turned to leave with Lena. At that moment, the wolf tribe leader, Shane, returned from a hunt. A wolf called out to him, Shane, a stunningly beautiful female has come to the tribe. Shane ignored him and strode away. When he got back to his cave, he heard moaning and groaning inside. He saw several males fawning over a female. It turned out the woman was his own mother. Shane's anger flared. He dropped his prey and stormed back outside. Meanwhile, Kaiser was going hunting. He told Lena to be good and not wander off. Lena was secretly thrilled. Heh heh, the big tiger is finally gone. She took out her fire starter, and to her delight, it worked. She happily began roasting some meat. The book from her package detailed the situation of this world. It was a world with far more males than females, which was why females could have multiple mates. This world is so wild, she sighed, closing the book. Suddenly, she smelled something burning. Her meat was scorched. Just then, Kaiser returned from his hunt. He saw the firelight in the cave and, thinking Lena was in danger, rushed inside. When he saw the scene before him, he froze. His little fairy had turned into a soot-covered kitten. Kaiser roared, "There's a fire! Run!" Lena stuck a skewer of roasted meat in his mouth. "Relax, I started this fire. Isn't this roasted meat delicious?" The tiger, who had never eaten cooked food before, was stunned. "This is incredible!" After tasting cooked meat, the big tiger couldn't get enough and roasted all the prey he'd caught. They ate until their bellies were full, and they were hiccuping. Full and satisfied, Lena lay on Kaiser's back, which was as warm as a big, fluffy blanket. She noticed he had an injury on his back, so she took out a cloth pouch and bandaged the wound for him. Touched, Kaiser licked her face enthusiastically. At night, they cuddled together to sleep. Lena suddenly felt a warm wetness below. She looked down and realized she'd gotten her period. She was at a complete loss for what to do. "Are you hurt?" Kaiser suddenly woke up. Lena was so embarrassed she wanted to disappear into the ground, jumping up and running out of the den with her butt bare. "I'm not hurt." Kaiser grabbed her and pulled her back. "You're bleeding, and you say you're not hurt?" Lena wanted the ground to swallow her whole. "Don't look, you perv!" Kaiser was exasperated. "I'm a tiger, not a wolf." Lena wished she could just die. She tried to explain that this was a normal thing, that she'd bleed for a few days and then it would stop. But Kaiser was worried she'd bleed to death. He scooped her up and ran to find the doctor. Lena was about to lose her mind. "It's just my period, but he's acting like I'm dying." Without a second thought, he scooped her up and sprinted toward the doctor's. Lena wrapped herself up like a burrito. She quickly explained that she bled once a month and that it would stop on its own in a few days. The old doctor was amazed. "What species are you exactly?" Lena blurted out, "I'm human." The doctor was confused, having no idea what a human was. She quickly came up with a lie, saying that humans and ape men were the same species. Unbelievably, the two simple-minded beastmen bought it. The doctor handed her a bag of fruit. "This is for building up your blood." Lena took the fruit and politely thanked him. The doctor was surprised by her gentle nature. The old man's eyes darted around as a plan formed in his mind. He was thinking of introducing Lena to the wolf tribe's leader. Kaiser saw this and shot the old man a fierce glare. The next day, Lena was trying to make clothes out of animal hides when she accidentally pricked her finger. The big tiger frowned in concern. "Let me." He took the hide from her and started stitching. To her surprise, he made a pair of panties. Lena was genuinely shocked that a big, tough guy knew how to sew, and the panties he made were so delicate. Kaiser stared at her, his face flushing red as he gulped, and instinctively reached out a paw. Lena instinctively backed away. "Perv, where do you think you're touching?" "I'm a tiger, not a wolf." Lena pouted. Was this tiger just playing dumb? Without warning, Kaiser lifted Lena's foot. She froze, a tingling sensation spreading from her soul throughout her body. She had no idea what this tiger was up to. Kaiser told her to wait a moment, then grabbed a piece of hide. In no time, he had fashioned a pair of shoes, and they were even a trendy lace-up style. Paired with Lena's leather top and pants, she looked incredibly fashionable. She asked Kaiser why he didn't make a pair for himself. He explained that shoes were inconvenient for transforming into his beast form. It dawned on Lena that she had almost forgotten he was a big tiger. She couldn't help but giggle at the thought of Kaiser wearing shoes. Meanwhile, Shane came to the doctor's for some herbs and happened to run into Lena. He thought she was stealing and immediately grabbed her hand. "Shameless female, how dare you steal?" Lena tried to explain, but the wolf beastman squeezed her hand painfully. "If you don't let go, I'm going to scream." Shane stopped, sneering. "You shameless thief, you have the nerve to scream?" Lena was furious. She twisted her body and yelled toward the space behind him, "Shaman of the wolf tribe!" While he was distracted, she rammed her head into his chin, nearly turning his sharp jawline into a square one. Then she even struck a martial arts pose to provoke him. The wolf beast man was enraged. "You're asking for it!" Lena instantly lost her nerve and turned to run. Shane lunged forward and grabbed her hair. Its softness made him freeze for a second, his mind completely focused on Lena. Her fair, smooth skin was so different from the grimy females he had seen before. Lena struggled frantically. "You big pervert! What are you touching?" Shane was jolted back to his senses. "What just happened to me?" Lena, afraid he would try something again, picked up a large jar. Perv! If you come any closer, I'll smash your head in. Anger surged through him and he raised his fist to strike her. Stop. At the crucial moment, the doctor appeared and kicked him in the rear. The old man stomped his feet in frustration. You idiot! You deserve to be single forever! Shane was scolded into submission. But she was stealing from you! The doctor flew into a rage. She's my guest! Get out! Shane knew he was in trouble and scurried away. The doctor turned to Lena awkwardly. That boy isn't a bad person. He just got confused for a moment. Don't take it to heart. It's okay, I'm not angry anymore. But Lena's next words crushed his hopes. I won't be seeing him again anyway. The doctor broke into a sweat. It seemed Shane had completely blown it this time. He was about to plead Shane's case again, when Kaiser returned from a hunt carrying Lena's things. What took you so long? Don't you like collecting animal hides? I went and caught several wild boars and skinned them for you. Lena didn't know whether to laugh or cry. That was just for a system quest. You make me sound like some kind of skin flayer, Kaiser thought to himself. This little female seems to be hiding a lot of secrets. Then he produced a bouquet of flowers. Do you like these? Lena took the flowers, her face lighting up with a smile. The doctor, watching this, couldn't help but twitch his lips. Kaiser's game was light years ahead of Shane's. Afterward, Lena and Kaiser left. They came to a sea of flowers, and Lena jumped around excitedly, unaware that Shane was watching them from the shadows. That woman is usually as fierce as a tigress, but she has such a sweet side to her. He couldn't help but blush. He wanted to give Lena a gift to apologize, but was afraid she was still angry and wouldn't accept it. Shane gritted his teeth, mustered his courage, and threw the gift to Lena before running away. Lena and Kaiser looked at the package curiously. They opened it to find red berries. Looks like these are for you. Want to eat them? Lena shook her head like a rattle, afraid they might be poisoned. Kaiser's gaze drifted down. Has the bleeding stopped? Why do I still smell blood? Lena quickly covered her behind, mortified. It's only the second day. It usually takes 5 days to stop. Lena gave the berries to the doctor. I don't know who threw these, but you can have them. Then he went to find Shane. Shane was sitting on a rock thinking about Lena. He suddenly heard the doctor's voice. You sent the red berries, didn't you? Shane denied it. What red berries? I don't know what you're talking about. The proud little wolf wouldn't admit it for anything. The doctor turned as if to go ask Lena. Wait, Shane panicked. It was compensation for misunderstanding her. It doesn't mean anything else. The doctor chuckled. Little wolf cub, you have feelings for her, don't you? Shane, seeing he'd been found out, ran off. Heh, looks like this kid still has a shot. A few days later, Lena's period finally ended. Kaiser planned to take her away from the wolf tribe, but the doctor immediately stopped them. Winter is coming, you can't leave. Kaiser paused, deep in thought. He knew that once winter set in, prey would become scarce. Lena was too delicate and would surely not be able to handle it. Thinking of this, he pulled Lena into his arms. We'll stay for the winter. The old doctor was thrilled. I'll take you to pick a place to stay for the winter. Lena heard a ding in her ear. System quest triggered, winter is approaching. Host, please prepare a winter shelter of no less than 400 square feet, equipped with a bed, chairs, table, and other furniture. Afterward, they went to choose a place to stay. The wolf tribe was well prepared for winter. They had dug dozens of tunnels into the rock, filled with caves, like an underground labyrinth. Lena walked into a dark cave, and suddenly, more than a dozen pairs of glowing eyes flashed in the darkness. She looked closer and realized they were the eyes of beastmen. She stumbled in fear and fell into Kaiser's arms. The doctor told them to pick a spot and dig a cave. Kaiser instantly transformed into his beast form and clawed out a hole in a matter of seconds. Lena estimated the size of the cave and instructed Kaiser to dig 2 more rooms inside. Half a day later, the cave finally met the system's requirements. Now all that was left was the furniture. Lena planned to make furniture out of wood, so they went to the forest to find some. When they returned, they found a new cave had been dug next to theirs. Lena went closer and her heart skipped a beat. It was Shane. Back in her cave, she fumed. Why is that annoying guy digging a cave right next to us? Just then, Kaiser finished making a large bed. Lena touched the wooden bed in admiration and snuggled up against the big tiger. Kaiser, you're amazing! The sounds of their affection carried over to Shane's cave. Shane was both embarrassed and annoyed. Am I crazy? Why did I decide to be her neighbor? At that moment, Kaiser was dragging Lena back to the forest. Shane quietly followed them. Soon they were deep in the woods. Kaiser used his claws to chop a pile of wood. Lena exclaimed how amazing he was and pecked him on the cheek. Shane, hiding in the shadows, got a front row seat to their lovey-dovey show and grumbled, showing off his own wolf claws. My claws are amazing too. Why doesn't the little female ask for my help? They carried the wood back in batches, and Lena stayed behind to guard the rest. For safety, Kaiser placed her in a tree. Wait here in the tree, I'll be back soon. Lena leisurely read her book in the tree, while Shane watched her from the shadows. That tiger just left her here, it's too dangerous. And just as he feared, a giant mutant spider suddenly appeared above Lena and shot a stream of venomous silk at her. A giant, horny spider was lunging right for her. She stumbled right into the arms of a wolf beastman. They stared at each other, both utterly confused. When Lena finally came to her senses, she was so scared she could have wet herself, and instinctively backed away. Watch out behind you! The giant spider charged. The wolf beastman, Shane, quickly pulled her behind him and let out a heaven-shaking howl. Run! The next second, Shane transformed into his beast form and fearlessly charged the giant spider, taking it down in just a few moves. Lena was stunned. Thank you for saving me. Shane shot her a sly glance. Just saying thank you isn't enough. Then what do you want? A wicked grin spread across the wolf's face. I want you to be my mate. Lena was both flustered and annoyed. You perverted wolf in your dreams. She huffed and turned to leave. Suddenly, Shane's legs gave out and he collapsed. He had been poisoned by the spider. To think I'd be taken out by a spider. If the tribe finds out, they'll laugh their heads off. Just as he was about to lose consciousness, Lena came back. Shane quickly hit his injured leg. What? Changed your mind about being my mate? Lena was fuming. I came back to get my things. Her eyes scanned him and noticed his injured leg. You're poisoned? Get away. I hate females. Lena wanted to check his wound, but he told her to go. Lena snorted and walked away. Shane lay on the ground a little dejected. So all females really are cold-hearted. He slowly closed his eyes, his consciousness fading. Just then, Lena returned with some herbs. Shane was unconscious and twitching. Lena immediately took out her dagger, made an incision on his hand, and applied the herbs to the wound, following the instructions in her book as a last-ditch effort. The next second, Shane jolted awake. The little female is back? Is this a hallucination before I die? Lena let out a sigh of relief and held up 2 fingers. Look, how many fingers is this? Shane was completely baffled. What do you mean, how many fingers? Lena gave an awkward smile, realizing that Beastman probably couldn't count. Thank you for saving me. Lena cupped her ear. What was that? I can't hear you. I said thank you. A little louder, I still can't hear you. Shane couldn't take it anymore. I said you're an idiot. They both exploded into an argument. Lena's face darkened. I knew I shouldn't have saved you, you creep. Suddenly, footsteps approached from behind. It was Kaiser and the others. Seeing the dead spider, everyone felt a chill. Kaiser pulled Lena into his arms and said to Shane, Thank you for saving my mate. Shane's eyes narrowed. This white tiger is thanking me on the surface, but he's really warning me not to make a move on the little female. And the males he brought with him already have mates. This tiger is a cunning one. Back at the cave, Lena used animal hides to sew a bed and pillows, finally making it feel like a home. Just then, the system's notification sound rang out. Congratulations, host, for completing one of the series' quests. The quest reward is now being delivered. Instantly, a large pot appeared in front of her. Lena jumped for joy. Now I can stir fry and cook? Kaiser picked up the spatula and clanged it against the pot, looking puzzled. What is this thing? Lena took the spatula, grinning. This is a wok for cooking. She immediately started a fire and began to cook. The aroma of meat wafting from the pot made the big tiger's mouth water. Lena served him a bowl. Kaiser gobbled it down. Lena wanted to bring a bowl to Shane as well. Kaiser's eyes narrowed. Give me the soup, I'll take it to him. He went to the neighboring cave. Shane glared at him. What are you doing here? Kaiser offered him the meat soup. Shane quickly snatched the soup. Did she ask you to bring this? Kaiser snorted and walked away. Lena was so full she was hiccuping. Kaiser's lips curved into a smile that could charm anyone. Thank you for the soup, it was delicious. Lena was completely mesmerized. You're so handsome. With that thought, she bolted. But she was no match for his tiger claws. In one swift move, Kaiser caught her and wrapped his arms tightly around her from behind. The tiger, in heat, held the girl tightly, opening his jaws wide, wanting to make cubs with her. Lena's body trembled, and she was so scared she nearly wet herself. I think I'll go sleep next door. Kaiser's expression darkened, and he held her even tighter. You want to go find Shane? Do you like him? Lena burst into tears. I don't like him. Don't be like this. I'm scared. Kaiser finally loosened his grip. Lena let out a sigh of relief, her heart pounding. The feeling was both terrifying and strangely thrilling. Shane heard the commotion next door, his face turning as red as an apple. His hearing was too sharp and he couldn't block out the sounds. Lena's words echoed in his mind, leaving him with mixed feelings and a sense of loneliness. The little female, she doesn't like me. The next morning, Lena thought about what had happened with Kaiser the night before and shot up in bed feeling like she'd been struck by lightning. With a tiger. At that thought, she wanted to find a hole to die in. Just then, Kaiser walked in with a bowl of meat soup. I'm going hunting later. I've already asked Hazel to look after you. She's a female from the wolf tribe. Lena grew nervous, afraid of being left behind in the wolf tribe to be devoured. She wanted to go hunting with Kaiser. He firmly refused. Hunting in winter is very dangerous. Every year, many beastmen freeze to death. Lena thought for a moment and nodded reluctantly. Seeing her disappointment, Kaiser's heart ached. He pulled her into his arms. Don't be sad. Whatever you want, I'll bring it back for you. Lena took out her book and told Kaiser to bring back some spices for cooking, then gave him a boning knife for self-defense. Kaiser nuzzled her head. I'll be back. They instinctively moved to kiss, but just then a woman pushed the door open. They jumped apart. It was Hazel. The three of them froze. Hazel laughed. Sorry to interrupt. Kaiser entrusted Lena to Hazel and stepped out into the snowy world. This time I must get enough food to survive the winter. Lena begged Hazel to take her out to explore this strange world. Hazel readily agreed and pulled her along. Soon they were at the market. The streets were full of old folks and kids who were working. All eyes were on Lena. She looked around, searching for other females, and when she found them, she was stunned. The females were all plump and well-fed, and they didn't have to do anything. If I just eat and laze around, will I end up like that? She asked Hazel how to tan hides. Hazel looked surprised. Us girls don't need to do that kind of work. Just having babies is enough. Lena's jaw dropped. If all I can do in this world is have cubs, that's terrifying. Hazel looked at Lena like she was an oddball, but agreed to teach her how to tan hides. They went to the river, and Lena bent down to wash the hide. Her graceful figure and charming appearance immediately attracted the attention of the surrounding wolf beastmen. A few young wolves hid nearby, staring. They had never seen such a beautiful female, as the precious ones rarely went out. Their eyes were wide and they were practically drooling, each one eager to go talk to her. Just then, an angry Shane appeared before them, grabbing the young wolves by their tails and dragging them away. Hazel watched with a smirk. Are you close with Chief Shane? He's been spying on you. Lena's face fell. It's that big perv again. But before she could finish, Shane was in front of her. What are you doing here? Lena retorted in a cutesy, high-pitched roar. None of your business! Hearing her voice, Shane's face turned beet red. His mind raced and his body reacted involuntarily. He quickly turned away to hide from everyone's view. Hazel was flabbergasted. Chief Shane, who had always disliked females, was actually interested in one. Lena struggled to lift the washed hide. Shane saw this and took it from her. Let me get that. A water-soaked hide is heavier than you are. He hoisted the hide onto his shoulder and walked away. Lena hurried to catch up. This wolf isn't so bad after all. But then Shane's tone shifted. You can't even carry this. Females really are useless. Lena's face instantly darkened. This guy was still as annoying as ever. Hazel was speechless. The once domineering Chief Shane now seemed like a clumsy fool. Back at the cave, Lena was about to cook when she remembered she'd left a bowl at Shane's. She hurried to the neighboring cave. Shane's wolf head poked out. What? Lena jumped, nearly scared out of her wits. She gritted her teeth. My bowl! Shane played dumb. What bowl? Shane immediately backed down, scurrying into his cave. A moment later, he trotted out with the bowl in his mouth. Here, you cheapskate. Lena snatched the bowl and left. Shane was both annoyed and dejected. That was the only thing the little female ever gave me. Just a moment ago, Kaiser had finally returned from his hunt. Lena ran to greet him but couldn't stop in time and crashed into his muscular chest. This time, Kaiser had brought back some peculiar fruits that were incredibly salty and could be used as a substitute for salt. Lena immediately grabbed her wok, heated it up, and prepared to show off her cooking skills. In no time, a dish was ready, its delicious aroma filling the air. She served a bowl to Kaiser. Take this to Shane. He helped me out a lot these past few days. The little wolf, drawn by the smell of meat, eagerly bounded out, but his face fell when he saw it was Kaiser. Lena said you helped her a lot, so I'm thanking you on her behalf. Shane pouted and snorted. I helped her. If anyone should thank me, it should be her. He was about to go back into his cave when Kaiser stopped him. We're leaving after this winter, don't get any ideas about her. I'll do what I want. It's none of your business. Meanwhile, Lena was waiting for Kaiser to return. Suddenly, ding, a system quest was triggered. Host, please gather enough food before the onset of winter. Lena was taken aback and was about to ask how much enough was, but the system vanished. What kind of system just drops a quest and disappears? Just then, Kaiser returned and saw Lena talking to herself, looking puzzled. The system, enough food? Lena laughed and explained, aren't we supposed to be preparing more food for the winter? Kaiser moved closer to her, his eyes full of affection. With me here, I'll get you as much food as you want. Kaiser's gaze grew deeper and more intense. Lena knew this was trouble, and quickly dove under the covers. The big white tiger walked over to her and gently stroked her silky hair. Lena felt a tingling sensation and shot up. Where are you touching? Before she could finish, Kaiser pulled her into a tight embrace. Lena, I've missed you so much these past few days. The tiger's pheromones grew stronger, and he couldn't resist planting a kiss on her forehead. Shane, listening from next door, was fuming. The aroused little wolf was scratching his ears in frustration. That stinking tiger is definitely doing this on purpose. The next morning, Kaiser was refreshed and energetic, while Shane had dark circles under his eyes and looked exhausted. Lena saw this and her heart skipped a beat. That perverted wolf looks like he didn't sleep well. Did he hear everything last night? She shot an annoyed glance at Kaiser. This is all your fault! Kaiser grinned mischievously. Then next time, you'll have to try not to make a sound when I'm holding you. Lena flew into a rage. The big tiger quickly made his escape. In the following days, Kaiser brought back large amounts of prey every time he went out. Everyone looked on with envy, praising Lena for having such a good husband. Even the beautiful Hazel was envious. The prey he catches alone is more than my whole family catches. Lena was puzzled. Your family? Yes, I have 5 mates. Lena's jaw dropped, her eyes nearly popping out. You're really something. Hazel shrugged. They're nothing compared to your Kaiser. Lena quickly clarified. We're not mates. Hazel smirked. Not mates? Then why do you live in the same cave and sleep in the same bed? Lena was at a loss for words. Since coming to this world and meeting Kaiser, they had naturally started living together, and had even done some intimate things. At that thought, her face turned bright red. Family, I guess. Hazel rolled her eyes playfully. Mates are family too. Lena was about to explain, but Hazel cut her off. If you don't want a great man like Kaiser, then give him to me. Lena panicked. No, he can't be your mate. Hazel laughed to herself and continued to dig. You don't even like him, so what's the problem with giving him to me? Lena quickly retorted, who says I don't like him? Hazel smiled slyly. Uh-huh, so you do like him. It was then that Lena realized she'd been tricked. Just then, Kaiser returned from his hunt and swooped Lena into his arms. Lena's jaw dropped. What did I just say? Kaiser casually tossed a bag of fruit to Hazel as a thank you. Hazel caught it and winked at Kaiser. She's very cute. You're a lucky man. Then she turned and left. The couple stood in silence. Lena was so embarrassed she wanted to dig a hole and hide. Kaiser nuzzled her forehead. I heard everything you said. Her face instantly turned red and her heart fluttered. What did you hear? You said you like me. The shy girl tried to deny it, but Kaiser saw right through her. His deep gaze grew incredibly hot. Lena, you don't like me? Lena couldn't resist. Her heart pounded as she leaned against his strong chest. Not like you. Kaiser's gaze became even more intense. Then you do like me. With that, he leaned in and stole her first kiss of the day. The big tiger snuck a kiss on the girl's lips. Lena instantly flew into a rage. Her face as red as a monkey's butt. Kaiser grinned mischievously. Want to go again? Lena was flustered. Shameless. She turned and ran. Back at the cave, she organized their winter food supplies. Suddenly, ding, the system notification sounded. Congratulations, host, for completing the system quest. The reward is now being delivered. A moment later, the reward fell into Lena's hands. It was a pack of sanitary pads. She was so moved she teared up, no longer having to worry about the awkwardness of her period. Just then, the big tiger popped his head in. Lena quickly hid the pads. If Kaiser sees this, it'll be way too awkward to explain. Outside, the snow was falling heavily, and it was getting colder. Lena sneezed. Achoo, achoo! Cold? Come here, I'm warm. Lena thought that made sense. Kaiser was a big fluffy tiger, so she plopped down on his lap, but she couldn't sit still, feeling something strange. Her face instantly turned beet red. She looked up and stole a glance at the muscular man behind her. Kaiser looked down and their eyes met. Lena's heart pounded. Oh no, he caught me staring. The next morning, Lena was woken up by a commotion. Kaiser walked in with a basin of water. Just as the couple was getting cozy, there was a loud crash, and 2 fierce-looking wolf beastmen burst in. Get out! Our female wants this cave! Lena was startled. These are beastmen from the Blackwater wolf tribe. Kaiser quickly stood in front of her. A red-haired brute reached out to pull them out. When Kaiser didn't move, the red-haired one threw a punch. Kaiser easily caught it, and with a crack he broke the guy's wrist. Then, with a twist, he dislocated his arm, and finished with a kick to his privates. Kaiser roared, "Get lost!" The two wolves grimaced in pain. "You'll pay for this." They limped back to their own cave. Their mate, seeing them in such a sorry state, snapped, "I sent you to get a room. How did you end up like this?" They explained what had happened. The woman flew into a rage, so angry her period started. She suddenly had an idea, to use her beauty to seduce Kaiser. "Let's see which male dares to refuse me, the most beautiful woman in the beast world." She stormed over to the next cave and ordered her mates to break down the door. Lena heard the banging and knew something was wrong. Sure enough, a group of them rushed in. "How dare you barge into someone's home? Get out!" The woman froze when she saw Lena. "How is this female's skin so fair? And her waist is so tiny?" Her own mates started gawking at Lena. The woman was furious. "Her lips are prettier than mine? Unforgivable." She pointed at Lena and spewed insults. "Where did this wild female come from? I'm the mate of the wolf tribe's chief. Get out if you know what's good for you." "I've never seen you before. You must be a female from the Blackwater wolf tribe." "Who said I'm the mate of the Blackwater chief? I'm Shane's mate." Hearing this, Lena was surprised. When did Shane get a mate? Just then, Kaiser walked in. "I don't care whose mate you are, get out now." Lena hurried to his side and whispered in his ear, "This crazy woman says she's Shane's mate." Before she could finish, the woman interrupted, "I've taken a liking to him. He must become my mate." Lena was exasperated. "So it's just wishful thinking on your part." The woman was so angry she could spit. "It's his honor that I've taken a liking to him." Just then, Shane walked in with a dark expression. "Should I be kneeling in gratitude?" The woman's heart skipped a beat, but she wasn't giving up. She took off her outer layer and tried to seduce him. Shane's brow furrowed. What is this crazy female trying to do? The woman's eyes grew hazy. As her hands roamed over Shane's muscular chest, her seductive gaze trying to use him against Lena. Lena covered her eyes, unable to watch. Shane's eyes narrowed in disgust, and he kicked the scheming woman away with a powerful blow. "If you dare touch me again, I'll rip off your hands." Everyone was stunned. In this world, females were as precious as jewels, yet a male had dared to lay a hand on one. Lena was speechless. Shane truly was the biggest oddball in the beast world. The woman screamed at Shane, "Are you even a male? How dare you treat me like this?" Shane's eyes narrowed. "Only my mate has the right to know if I'm a male or not. As for you, get as far away from me as you can." The scheming woman gritted her teeth in anger and ran away in tears. Shane turned to Lena, his brow furrowed. "You're being bullied at your own doorstep. Why don't you fight back?" "Who said I didn't fight back? I was about to, but then you showed up." Shane was at a loss for words. I was just passing by." He thought to himself. "Damn, I ran over as soon as I heard she was in trouble. She didn't figure it out, did she?" Lena nodded. "I know, you were just passing by." Hearing this, the little wolf felt a strange surge of annoyance and howled, "Stupid female!" Lena was confused. What was wrong with him? Kaiser, on the side, was secretly relieved. To prevent any more incidents, Kaiser repaired the broken wooden door. Lena looked at the damaged door and felt a pang in her heart. If only the system could give me an iron door. But then she realized that she had, without knowing it, started to get used to this place. Am I going to stay here and face all of this forever? Meanwhile, the scheming woman, Levia, returned to her cave crying. She kicked one of her mates in the rear. "You just stood there and watched me get bullied. What good are you?" The cowards didn't dare say a word. Levia, seeing how useless they were, grew even more furious. "Go and beat up that wild female for me." The wolves hesitated. "But she's a female, and she's so pretty. Before they could finish, Levia exploded, unleashing a torrent of abuse at them. "No, you just wait." Outside, the snow was falling heavily, and the forest had officially entered winter. This weather was perfect for hot pot. Lena got out a large pot and started cooking. She told Kaiser to get ingredients from the cellar, but she thought eating hot pot with just 2 people wasn't very lively. So she went to the neighboring cave to invite Shane. She found him with 2 wolves from the Blackwater tribe. A dark-skinned beastman drooled at the sight of Lena. She shivered in fear. Shane saw this and warned the dark beast man not to get any ideas about her, or he'd have to deal with him. The dark beastman was about to retort, but was stopped by his companion. He snorted and angrily left. Watching the 2 Blackwater wolves leave, Shane glared at Lena. "What are you doing out here?" "I made hot pot. I came to ask if you wanted to eat with us." Shane's serious expression immediately softened. "What's a hot pot? Is it edible?" Lena, offended by his doubt, turned to leave. "Fine, don't eat it." Shane panicked and roared, "I want to eat hot pot!" But when he got to Lena's cave, he froze in shock. The room was steamy, and flames were burning under the pot. He immediately grabbed Lena and pulled her outside. "It's on fire, let's go!" Lena didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She led him inside. This is a hot pot. It won't hurt you. Just then, Kaiser came over with ingredients. Lena, the meat is cooked. Come and eat. Shane was astonished. He couldn't believe this tiger wasn't afraid of fire. He mustered his courage and cautiously sat down. I never knew meat could be eaten like this. Lena was about to dig in. She grabbed a piece of meat and popped it in her mouth, nearly burning her lips. Kaiser quickly checked if she was hurt, gently lifting her face and blowing on her red lips. Plop! The piece of meat in Shane's hand fell. The little female's lips. I want to blow on them too. Lena covered her mouth and quickly changed the subject. Were those two from the Blackwater tribe? Yes, they came to discuss a business deal with me. Lena was curious about what kind of business Beastman could have. Wait a minute, I'll go get that thing from next door. A moment later, Shane returned with a bamboo tube for Lena. Inside the tube was the water they were selling. Lena opened the tube and sniffed. This isn't water, it's alcohol. Shane was confused, not knowing what alcohol was. Lena explained, alcohol can warm you up, but you can't drink too much. If you get drunk, you can lose control and even go berserk. Kaiser and Shane were startled. This is important, we'll remember that. But Lena was excited. She told Shane to find out what the alcohol was made from. If we can grow grain in the future, we can not only eat it, but also make alcohol to sell. Lena poured 3 bowls of alcohol and raised her bowl. To tonight's hot pot, cheers! Kaiser and Shane didn't know what cheers meant, but raised their bowls with her. The 2 beastmen each took a sip and found the taste quite good. They downed their bowls and finished the whole tube in no time. Lena suddenly had a bad feeling. The wolf and tiger were staring at her. The little wolf's face was flushed and his eyes were glazed over. He suddenly lunged at Lena in a drunken fit. Let me be your maid. I really, really like you. Lena pushed against his head. You're just drunk and talking nonsense. But Shane wouldn't let go. With a thump, he transformed into his beast form, vowing to make cubs with Lena. Kaiser on the side was burning with jealousy, his eyes filled with killing intent, and he kicked the drunken Shane away. Lena was worried Kaiser would kill Shane. Don't worry, this wolf is tough. He won't die. With that, he grabbed Shane, dragged him out, and threw him back into his own cave. The little wolf was dead drunk and fast asleep. Kaiser scooped Lena up, his own eyes growing hazy. They returned to their cave. Intoxicated, Kaiser pinned her against the wall. Lena was about to tell him to behave when he silenced her with a kiss. The alcohol had gone to his head and his body was burning up. His eyes suddenly went vacant and he lost all reason. Shane was woken up by the noise from next door. He sobered up instantly and rushed into the neighboring cave, transforming into his beast form. Let go of Lena! He lunged at Kaiser with bared fangs. Kaiser snapped back to his senses and saw Lena huddled in a corner. Shane immediately picked her up. Don't be afraid, I'll take you to the wolf tribe's shaman. Kaiser wanted to check Lena's injuries, but was stopped by Shane. Stay away! Don't you see how badly you've hurt her? With that, he carried Lena to find the doctor. Kaiser was filled with regret and wanted to slap himself. Meanwhile, the doctor was leisurely applying a mud mask to his face when a loud bang startled him. He turned to see Shane bursting in with Lena in his arms. Lena's hurt! You have to help her! The doctor saw Lena's bruised and battered body, and without a second thought, jumped up and delivered a swift kick to Shane. It wasn't me! Hearing this, the doctor stopped. Then which scumbag did this? Shane cried out in frustration. It was that white tiger, Kaiser. He always seemed so gentle, how could he? The doctor told Shane to gather all the herbs, crush them, and apply them to Lena's body to stop the bleeding. After that, Shane stormed out furious. He was going to beat Kaiser to a pulp. He charged into the neighboring cave and tackled Kaiser to the ground. But Kaiser didn't fight back. He had no memory of what he'd done while drunk. You can hit me, but tell me, is Lena okay? Shane's eyes narrowed. I'm not telling you anything. You hurt Lena so badly, you don't deserve to be her mate. Kaiser's heart shattered. Lena, what did I do? Do I really not deserve to be with you anymore? When she slowly regained consciousness, her entire body ached as if it had been torn apart. The nightmarish scene from the previous night replayed in her mind, leaving her terrified. Just then, an old man burst in. Lena flinched, but it was just the wolf tribe's shaman bringing her medicine. Soon after, Shane walked in, carrying her clothes. Seeing the clothes, all of which Kaiser had made for her by hand, brought tears to her eyes. The little wolf whimpered in sympathy. Lena slowly stopped crying, but she didn't know how she would face Kaiser now. Shane rested his head against her, and they cried together. At that moment, Kaiser came to see Lena, but was mercilessly turned away by the shaman. Recalling his drunken actions, Kaiser left in shame. A few days later, Lena's injuries had healed. After saying goodbye to the wolf shaman, she returned to her cave. She knew she had to clear things up with Kaiser. But when she pushed open the door, the cave was empty and silent. Lena felt a mix of emotions and sat down fuming to wait for the big white tiger to return. She had only wanted to live a quiet life with Kaiser, but the thought of having tiger cubs with him made her skin crawl. No, that's too scary. She waited from day to night, but Kaiser never showed up. Shane, on the other hand, had come by several times. Do you know where Kaiser went? At the mention of Kaiser's name, Shane gritted his teeth. I don't know. Lena was frantic and went to find the shaman. It was freezing outside, and she worried Kaiser would freeze to death. The shaman told her that Kaiser had come to see him a few days ago. That tiger went deep into the mountains. He said he was looking for primal leaf fruit to help you recover. Hearing this, Lena threw on a cloak and was about to go after him. Shane grabbed her. Feeling her trembling hands, he roared, I'll go find him for you. A wave of warmth washed over Lena. You're guests of the wolf tribe. As the chief, I can't just stand by and watch someone die. The shaman couldn't help but chuckle. Since when were you so responsible? Shut up! Shane's intentions were exposed, and he cursed under his breath. Lena, worried that Shane would freeze to death going out shirtless, took off her own cloak and put it on him. If you can't find Kaiser, just come back quickly. The little wolf looked at Lena, his heart pounding. If I make it back safely this time, will you promise me one thing? Lena froze. Is he going to ask me to be his mate? The healer jumped right on the opportunity. Lena, this time Shane risked his life for you. Say yes, kid. Shane excitedly hugged Lena and planted a kiss on her lips. Lena froze, completely baffled. Before she could react, Shane had already turned and headed into the deep mountains. Just then, Hazel rushed over. Someone is stealing your things. Lena's jaw dropped, and she sprinted back. The shaman quickly told Hazel, Go get the strong men of the tribe to help. Hazel immediately took off to get reinforcements. At that moment, a group of bandits was ransacking Lena's cave. Faced with these tall and powerful beastmen, the small and weak Lena was powerless. And the mastermind behind all of this was the scheming woman, Livia. She glared at Lena. Your males are frozen to death out there. Let's see who can help you now. Lena was so angry she wanted to shut her up. But Livia grabbed her chin. Do you believe I could ruin that pretty face of yours? Before she could finish, Lena headbutted her, knocking her jaw out of place. The scheming woman, caught off guard, fell to the ground. So angry she could have shattered her teeth. Seize her! But the males Livia had brought with her hesitated, unwilling to lay a hand on the adorable Lena. Livia was furious. Aki, take your female away! Hearing that name, Lena's heart skipped a beat. She turned to see the dark-skinned wolf beastman. Aki had long been infatuated with Lena, and he couldn't stop drooling at the sight of her. Lena grabbed a wooden club to defend herself. The dark beastman's face twisted into a menacing grin. If you don't come with me, you'll starve to death. Livia on the side was gloating. Lena held up the club, ready to die rather than surrender. Livia had lost her patience and urged Aki on. What are you waiting for? Grab her! With that, the evil wolf lunged at Lena. The evil wolf grabbed Lena, intending to force her to have cubs with him. Lena screamed for help, but the more she yelled, the more excited the wolf became, tearing her clothes with his filthy hands. She mustered her courage and roared at the wolf. Even if you force me, I will definitely abandon you. Hearing this, the wolf hesitated, but the scheming woman on the side urged him on. Aki, don't hesitate. Give her some of our special water and she won't resist. Lena's heart sank. Are they going to make me drink alcohol? Just as the scheming woman turned to get the alcohol, a fist flew out and punched her in the stomach. She tumbled to the ground, clutching her stomach in pain. Who kicked me? Show yourself. A familiar figure slowly walked in. It was Shane, returned from the deep mountains. His eyes were narrowed and his face was full of killing intent. The evil wolf was terrified and trembling. My mom is calling me home for dinner. We should go. But as he tried to slip away, Shane grabbed him by the neck. You dare to lay a hand on Lena? Shane, this is a misunderstanding. But Shane didn't give him a chance to explain. A few punches that could send him straight to the afterlife. Everyone else was so scared they wet their pants. The scheming woman tried to run, but was blocked at the door by a group of strong men. It was the reinforcements brought by the shaman and Hazel. They swarmed in and captured her. Hazel told Lena, Kaiser is back too. He's a little injured and is resting at the shaman's place. Lena burst into tears of joy. She could only feel safe with Kaiser by her side. However, that perverted wolf Aki hadn't died. The shaman of the Black River Wolf tribe wanted to protect him. As long as Chief Shane spares Aki's life, all the special water we brought this time will be yours. Shane just sneered, thinking the shaman was cunning. It was this same water that had made Kaiser lose control. What is this old fool planning? Lena leaned in and whispered to Shane, let me handle this. Such a meddlesome little female, do whatever you want. Lena asked the old shaman how much of the magical water he had brought. He said he had brought 2 wooden barrels. Leave the 2 barrels of water and tell me the recipe for making it, and we'll call it even. The old shaman laughed. Our dreams! Shane grabbed Aki by the neck again. We are dreaming big. If you don't agree, we'll kill this perverted wolf. Faced with the crazed Shane, the old shaman had no choice but to comply. He had his men bring over the 2 barrels of alcohol. Shane then forced him to reveal the recipe, which the old shaman told to Lena. He thought to himself that this little female was no simpleton. Then he left with his beastmen. You just wait, we'll be back! After they left, Lena was about to relax, when Shane suddenly collapsed. Lena rushed to help him up, and when she touched him, she felt an icy chill. Her eyes widened as she saw a rune glowing on Shane's arm. It's a star crest, bring him to my place first. They took Shane to the doctor's den. Lena immediately saw Kaiser lying on a straw bed. Seeing that he was alive, she breathed a sigh of relief. The wolf shaman ordered the other beastmen to stand guard at the door. Lena asked the shaman, what's a star crest? A star crest only appears when a beastman is evolving. When it appears, it greatly increases their combat power. However, many beastmen die during the evolution process. Lena's jaw dropped. So Shane might die? Survival of the fittest is the law of the beastman. If he can't get through this, he'll be eliminated. At that moment, Shane's body convulsed and he groaned in pain. Watching this, Lena felt a pang of sympathy, and tears streamed down her face. Even though this wolf is hot-tempered and has a sharp tongue, he saved both me and Kaiser. He's a good beastman. At that thought, she cried even harder. Her crying woke Kaiser up. He shot up, and Lena threw herself into his arms, her eyes filled with tears. Don't cry, I have a way to save Shane. With that, Kaiser untied his loincloth, revealing a beast mark on his waist. The wolf shaman jumped up in excitement. That's a 3-star soul beast. A 3-star soul beast can calm Shane's white wolf soul beast. With that, the shaman fell to his knees and begged Kaiser to save Shane. Kaiser readily agreed, but proposed a condition that was difficult even for him. Lena had to become mates with both him and Shane at the same time. To soothe the beast soul within Shane, they had to be family. Lena had to become mates with both the tiger and the wolf at the same time. It was the only way to save the dying wolf, Shane. The tiger, Kaiser, cut his finger and let his blood drip into a cup. At the same time, the shaman cut Shane's hand, allowing their blood to mix. Lena looked at the cup of blood, her heart pounding with uncertainty. She shakily picked up the cup, took a large sip, and then let her own blood drip into it, giving it to both Kaiser and Shane to drink. Instantly, a dazzling golden light flashed. With this light, the 3 of them completed the mating contract. Shane's pale face gradually returned to normal. But Lena had a bad feeling. After all, Shane's always hated kids. When he wakes up and finds out he was forced into a mate bond, he's gonna lose it for sure. Kaiser comforted Lena. Don't worry. If he dares to complain about you, I'll rip his bells off. The shaman on the side quickly explained that Shane actually liked Lena a lot. But Lena would sooner believe that pigs could fly than believe Shane liked her. Don't worry, the blood mating contract only lasts for 3 months. If you don't want to have cubs with us after 3 months, the contract will automatically expire. The shaman added, That's right. If you're not satisfied, you can dump them at any time. Hearing this, Lena felt a little relieved. Even though these 2 beastmen were a bit strange, she could treat it as a 3-month relationship. Just then, Kaiser walked over to Shane and placed his hand on the beast soul on his shoulder. In a flash of light, Shane's pupils dilated and he suddenly regained consciousness. He had finally evolved successfully. The shaman grabbed Shane's shoulders, crying with joy. But Kaiser, having expended so much energy, was on the verge of collapsing. Take me back, I want to go home. Lena stood stunned for a few seconds, then helped Kaiser back to their cave. Once they were home, Kaiser handed Lena a bag of primal leaf fruit. Lena took the fruit, deeply moved. I'm sorry, Lena, that night I... Before he could finish, Lena cut him off. Don't say it. I've already forgotten about that night. The big tiger was like a child who had done something wrong, filled with anxiety. Can I still hug you? Of course. Lena realized she had become deeply dependent on Kaiser. They held each other tightly. The next morning, Lena was awakened by a loud rumbling sound. She got up to see a large hole in the living room wall. It turned out to be Shane's doing. He had knocked down the wall between their homes. Lena was furious. Are you crazy? Why did you smash my wall? You're my mate now. Your home is my home, so of course this wall has to go. They argued for nearly 2 hours. Lena was so angry her jaw almost dislocated. Even if we're mates, you can't just smash walls? Shane, hearing this, was overjoyed. Little female, is she admitting that I'm her mate? Just then, Kaiser walked in. Lena, the food is ready. Lena immediately ran off like a hungry kitten to eat. Kaiser shot a sharp glance at Shane. Don't even think about luring Lena into your room. From now on, we compete fairly. With that, he turned and left. Shane roared after him. Don't think I'm afraid of you just because you're a 3-star soul beast. Kaiser snorted. Bring it on. Lena, hearing their conversation, groaned inwardly. She had to live with these two beasts for the next 3 months. Her future seemed fraught with disaster. On the first day of living together, Shane shamelessly demanded to sleep in the same bed with Lena, only to be ruthlessly rejected. I'm used to sleeping alone. I don't want to sleep with anyone. Shane, hearing this, was overcome with jealousy. Liar, you sleep with that tiger every night. Lena felt like she'd been struck by lightning. Was the soundproofing that bad? Her face turned as red as a monkey's butt. Kaiser and I have real feelings for each other. You're just a friend. Shane's heart sank. He grabbed Lena's hand and growled, If you don't like me, why'd you sign a mate bond with me? Because I couldn't just watch you die. In 3 months, the bond dissolves on its own. Shane's heart shattered. He wanted to pounce on Lena right then and there to make their mate status a reality. Lena, seeing the murderous look in his eyes, was terrified and quickly pulled her hand away. Shane realized he had scared her and immediately put on a harmless smile. It's just an errand, right? I'll go. With that, he grabbed the things and left. But his mood changed in an instant. He stormed into the wolf shaman's home and threw the thank you gift Lena had prepared at him. Did you and Lena have another fight? I like her so much, but she just doesn't like me. With that, the little wolf started crying pitifully. The little wolf begged the girl to have his cubs, only to be kicked out by Lena. She turned over and fell fast asleep. But the persistent little wolf wasn't giving up. He secretly climbed into Lena's bed. Lena, I really, really like you. Lena was about to refuse when Shane silenced her with a kiss. Just as he was getting into it, Lena slapped him across the face. But the more she hit him, the more excited he became, even trying to force himself on her. The next day, Lena was yawning and listless. Hazel saw her and whispered in her ear with a mischievous smile, Were you and Chief Shane up to no good last night? Lena's jaw dropped. Don't be ridiculous, nothing happened between us. Just then, Shane's voice came from outside. Lena jumped, feeling caught in the act, her face turning as red as a ripe apple. You don't have to be shy, we can wait to have cubs. I have something else to tell you. Who wants to have cubs with you? Just say what you have to say. That scheming woman Levia is pregnant. Lena was stunned. Why are you telling me this? Is it your child? Shane flew into a rage. What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you. The wolf shaman told me to release Levia. With that, he grabbed Lena's arm. That woman has caused you trouble time and time again. Do you want me to get rid of her for you? Lena was touched. After all, harming a pregnant female was a serious crime, and this silly wolf was willing to do anything for her. Let Levia go. The child in her belly is innocent. Shane thought Lena was trying to save him from trouble, and was overjoyed. Heh, you really do like me. Lena was speechless. This guy was such a narcissist. Before she could react, Shane planted a kiss on her forehead, then turned and ran, calling back, Be good and wait for me at home. Who's waiting for you? Meanwhile, Shane went to the prison and ordered his men to release Levia and her group. The scheming woman was ecstatic, thinking Shane had feelings for her. You really are a man of contradictions. So you do care about me. Her words almost made Shane sick. He was about to leave when Levia saw the evolved soul beast on his shoulder. Her eyes lit up and she immediately went to him, taking his hand. Her gaze grew hazy. Shane, you've evolved. I can definitely bear you the strongest cubs. Shane was furious and grabbed her by the neck. If you come any closer, I'll kill you. Levia was so scared she wet her pants. Her mates were about to rush in to help, but Shane threw Levia at them. Keep an eye on this crazy woman. Don't let her near me or I might actually kill her. Levia stared daggers at Shane's departing back. That night, Lena ate with the tiger and the wolf. She kept stealing glances at the two beastmen. If she had to choose a mate, she only wanted to be with Kaiser. Just as Kaiser was about to get up and sleep outside, Lena grabbed his hand. He looked back at her puzzled. Lena blushed and stammered, You can stay tonight. Kaiser couldn't believe his ears. He never thought Lena would accept him. Shane on the side strongly objected. Are you keeping Kaiser here to have cubs with him? Lena didn't know how to answer, but Kaiser was already beaming. Shane, seeing them, was so angry he could have shattered his teeth. He turned and left without a word. Lena, have you decided you want to have cubs with me? Lena was blushing furiously. Kaiser eagerly pulled her into an embrace, but she pushed him away. Wait! She took out a bag of primal leaf fruit. Hazel said primal leaf fruit can reduce the pain. Kaiser took the fruit and crushed it in his hand. Then they kissed. Shane, next door, heard the sounds and gritted his teeth in anger. At the crucial moment, Lena suddenly felt a sharp pain and pushed Kaiser away. It turned out her period had come, and their baby-making plans were ruined. The next day, Lena was stuck in bed. Hazel, hearing about what had happened, burst out laughing. Kaiser brought her bright red fruits, saying they would help replenish her blood. Just then, Shane rushed in with the shaman. Lena had a bad feeling. The shaman looked her up and down, then handed her a bowl of medicinal soup. The strange color and pungent smell made Lena recoil. She wouldn't drink it for anything. But under the pressure of the two beasts, she eventually gave in. After drinking the medicine, Shane gently covered her with a blanket. Lena looked at him with a hazy expression. Why did this wolf suddenly seem so gentle? Her gaze made Shane blush. Lena couldn't help but smile. You're so goofy and cute. Shane was speechless. Cute is for females and cubs, okay? 7 days later, Lena's period finally ended. She finally saw the sun again. Just then, Hazel came over. Lena learned that Hazel was pregnant and couldn't help but peek at her belly, wondering what a beastman baby would look like. Would it look like a little animal? Just then, a group of unwelcome guests arrived. It was the scheming woman, Levia, back to cause trouble. Levia immediately started taunting Lena. I heard you found a mate. How come you're not pregnant yet? Is there something wrong with you? Can you not have children? Lena turned away, ignoring her. Levia was so angry her face twitched. She lunged forward and grabbed Lena's arm. Lena cried out in pain and shook her off. Levia deliberately fell to the ground and started wailing. The crowd gasped and started pointing fingers at Lena. Her mind went blank. Hazel stepped in to defend her. You fell on your own, she didn't push you. Levia lay on the ground, throwing a tantrum and screaming, Lena tried to hurt me and my baby. Seeing Lena's helpless expression, Levia was secretly pleased. Suddenly, she got up and lunged at Lena, pushing her toward the edge of a cliff. Lena stumbled, lost her footing, and fell off the cliff. At that moment, she thought she was a goner. But at that critical juncture, the system suddenly activated its defense program and transported Lena to another location. When she slowly regained consciousness, she found herself lying in a vast sea of snow. Lena woke up and quickly checked her body, relieved to find she wasn't injured. This system is amazing. But when she looked around, all she could see was a vast expanse of white. It turned out the system had sent her to this god-forsaken place to save her. She had no choice but to trudge toward the direction of the tribe. As the sun began to set, she fortunately found a cave to take shelter in. She opened her pack and looked at the meager supplies inside. Her stomach growled. I should have packed more meat. To keep warm, she decided to go out and look for firewood. As she cautiously poked her head out, she saw a person lying outside the cave entrance. She immediately ran out to investigate and found a handsome man who looked like he'd been beaten up. Lena couldn't bear to see such a handsome man freeze to death, but he was too big for her to lift. She had to drag him into the cave. Lena looked at the beastman before her. His features were stunningly handsome. His clothes were also far superior to what ordinary beastmen wore. They were made of high-quality fabric. A sparkling blue gem on his forehead mesmerized her. Are there other humans in this world? In a daze, she fell asleep. As soon as she was asleep, the man woke up. Where am I? Where are the ones who were chasing me? He looked and saw Lena, his pupils contracting. A fire? How is there a fire here? He quickly checked his body, afraid that Lena had taken advantage of him. After confirming his innocence was intact, he breathed a sigh of relief. He looked at Lena more closely and admired her. This little female is quite cute. When Lena opened her eyes, she was startled to see the man staring at her. The man quickly said, Thank you for saving me. Then he turned to leave. Move, your wound was just bandaged. The man's eyes narrowed. Are you a shaman? Lena was frightened by his cold gaze and trembled. I'm just an ordinary female. My name is Lena. The man's eyes softened. My name is Silas. Lena, that's a beautiful name. Lena felt a tingling sensation. This man must be trying to charm me, but I have no proof. Lena, seeing where Silas was injured, suspected someone had tried to harm him. But looking at his icy face, she didn't dare ask. One day, Lena was so hungry her stomach was growling. Silas, seeing this, wanted to go hunting but was stopped by Lena. You're injured! You can't move! The man opened his shirt and showed her that his wound had completely healed. Lena was stunned. It was incredible, his wound had healed overnight. Silas got dressed to go hunting, but Lena only wanted to go back to the tribe. The man's brows furrowed tightly, and his icy expression immediately made her back down. Lena watched Silas leave, thinking he wouldn't be back for a while, and it was the perfect time to escape. She ran off in the direction of the tribe. Along the way, she tried to pick some wild fruit to eat, but it was inedible. It made her think of the roasted meat she had with Kaiser, and she felt even more miserable. The snow began to fall again. Lena was cold and hungry, her vision blurring. She finally collapsed from exhaustion. When she managed to lift her head, she saw a pair of long legs. It was Silas. "What are you doing here?" "I want to go home. My mates are waiting for me." Silas's heart sank. He scooped Lena up. "Have you been with them?" "No," Lena said, blushing with embarrassment. "If not, then they're not your real mates. You should come with me." With that, Silas held Lena tightly and rushed back to the cave. Back at the cave, Silas started roasting meat. Lena saw his burned hands and was surprised. This guy wasn't afraid of fire. His tribe must be of a higher level. Silas handed the cooked meat to Lena and started eating raw meat himself, which made Lena's skin crawl. It turned out Silas didn't like hot food. He had only roasted the meat because Lena wanted it. Lena realized this man was cold on the outside. He wasn't heartless on the inside. She picked up a piece of stone. After eating so much, a little ice was refreshing. Silas on the side was staring at her. "Why are you staring at me? Want some ice?" "I don't like cold things. Only cold-blooded animals like that." Lena just wanted to smack him. "You're the one who eats raw meat. Who's the cold-blooded one here?" After eating, Lena fell asleep. A cold wind made her shiver. Silas, feeling sorry for her, got up and walked over to her. He took off his shirt, transformed into his beast form, and used his massive body to shield Lena from the wind, blocking the cave entrance. Lena was finally able to sleep soundly. The next day, when she woke up, she found a giant snake lying next to her. She was so scared she wet her pants and ran. The giant snake wanted to give the girl a real snake kiss. Lena was so scared she wet her pants again and ran, but the big black snake coiled around her and pulled her back. "Don't move. I'm not going to eat you." Hearing the familiar voice, Lena froze. It turned out this giant snake was Silas. She looked back, wanting to cry. So this world was full of tigers, wolves, and now snakes. Looking at the terrifying black snake before her, Lena forced a smile. Can you turn back into your human form?" The snake's eyes narrowed, and he looked a little sad. He suddenly flicked his long tongue out, wanting to give Lena another snake kiss. Lena quickly covered her mouth and trembled. Was he worried that she was disgusted and afraid of him? Lena mustered her courage and gently touched Silas's tongue. The sticky, soft tongue made her want to knead it. The snake felt a tingling sensation all over. "Hey, you're touching a sensitive spot." Silas blushed. "This female isn't afraid of me. I want to keep her like this forever, so no one can take her from me." Then Silas coiled around Lena and slithered out of the cave to hunt, like a black train moving through the jungle. Lena chuckled wryly. This snake train was quite stable. Just then, the snake train came to a sudden halt and placed Lena in a tree. Then Silas slowly approached a crevice, used his tail to knock away the rocks, and snatched up a few sleeping bunnies. Lena had never seen this kind of hunting before. The bunny family was still dreaming when they became someone's dinner. After catching their prey, they returned to the cave. Silas gently set Lena down from his back and transformed back into his human form. Lena's eyes widened at the sight of his 18-pack, and she blushed furiously, quickly covering her eyes. "You pervert!" Silas was confused. "You don't like my body? Whether I like it or not, you can't just be naked. Don't you know that men and women should keep their distance?" Silas was completely lost. Lena then realized that this was the beast world, of course. They wouldn't know about such rules. She bent down and picked up a vine, which triggered a system quest. "Host, please collect 300 plant seeds. You can refer to the sheepskin illustrated guide." Hearing this, Lena immediately looked at the guide and was surprised to find that the vine she had just picked contained a lot of starch. Her eyes lit up. "Does this mean I can eat buns, noodles, and dumplings?" She carefully put the vine away. Just then, Silas handed her a roasted rabbit. Lena took it and noticed that his hands were burned again. "Next time, let me do the roasting." Silas's lips curved into a smile. "Are you worried about me?" Lena nodded. "I don't want your hands to get burned again." Silas, hearing this, immediately moved closer. "Then do you want to—" Before he could finish, Lena interrupted. "I already have mates." Silas's face fell. "You haven't been with them, so they're not your real mate." Lena's jaw dropped, and she was filled with shame. "To me, as long as we like each other, we're real mates." Silas grabbed her arm. "What about me? Don't you like me?" "I only like you as a friend." Silas's heart grew cold. He vowed to fight Kaiser and Shane, saying that the loser would have to give up Lena. Lena was about to refuse when Silas suddenly exuded a chilling, killing intent. "If you refuse, I'll have to swallow you." Lena was so scared she wet her pants, not knowing what to do. Silas realized he had scared her. It was just something he said in anger. Seeing Lena like a frightened kitten, he couldn't help but kiss her on the lips. Lena flinched and backed away. "You snake! Why do you keep licking me?" With that, she was pinned against the stone wall by the snake. Faced with this handsome and mischievous snake, Lena blushed and didn't dare to look at him. But Silas moved closer, and Lena could feel a strong wave of pheromones. Silas's eyes narrowed. Let's make a deal. He let go of her. If I can make you fall in love with me in 10 days, we'll become mates. If not, I'll give up and send you home. Lena thought for a moment. She couldn't possibly fall in love with this snake, so she gritted her teeth and agreed. Silas grinned mischievously and snuck another kiss. The snake, while the girl wasn't looking, swooped in for a kiss. Lena quickly turned her head, her face as red as a monkey's butt. Meanwhile, the scheming woman who had pushed Lena off the cliff was thrown into the dungeon. Just then, the wolf Shane walked toward her. A flash of surprise appeared in her eyes. She thought he was there to save her. But Shane's face was cold, his eyes filled with killing intent. Levia, how do you want to die? Levia was so scared she wet her pants. In her panic, she tried to argue that Lena had fallen off the cliff on her own. Shane sneered, easily seeing through her lies. You're still lying even when you're about to die. With that, he turned and left. Levia knew she was in deep trouble. Shane ordered his men to drag Levia out of the dungeon and throw her into a desolate wasteland. The place was teeming with wild beasts. A hungry wolf smelled her and immediately locked onto its target, pouncing on her with bared fangs. With a series of blood-curdling screams, Levia was quickly devoured by the beast. It was a fitting end, with only her bones left behind. At the same time, Kaiser risked his life to climb down the cliff and search for Lena in the deep mountains. Lena, at that moment, was riding the snake train through the jungle, collecting plant seeds according to the system's quest. The giant snake suddenly flicked its tongue at her, and then opened its mouth to spit out 2 fruits. According to the illustrated guide, this fruit was not only delicious, but also a rare medicinal herb for external injuries. Lena took the fruit, pleasantly surprised. The black snake lowered its head, its eyes darting toward Lena. She was confused. Did he want her to pat his head and praise him? What a clingy little snake. She reached out and touched his tongue. The big snake felt a tingling sensation all over. Lena's hand is so soft. Back at the cave, Lena suddenly started coughing. She had caught a cold and had a high fever, her body shivering uncontrollably. Soon she collapsed. Silas immediately rushed to her side. Since a snake's body is cold, he quickly unbuttoned his shirt and let Lena lean against him to cool down. Lena instantly felt cooler and unconsciously snuggled against his cold 18-pack. But the next moment, she had another coughing fit. Silas took a piece of ice, let it melt in his mouth, and carefully fed the water to Lena. After drinking the water, she felt a little better, but then she had another violent coughing fit and coughed up blood. Silas held her tightly. I finally found a female I like. I can't lose her. Lena suddenly felt dizzy and couldn't make a sound. At that critical moment, she remembered the fruit she had found earlier. She opened her pack, ate one, and the pain in her lungs immediately subsided. She quickly told Silas to go find more of the fruit. Learning that the fruit could cure Lena, Silas immediately rushed out into the snow. But the ground was covered in a thick layer of snow and he couldn't find any of the fruit. So he went to the wild boar tribe at night, wanting to trade for the fruit, but the boar chief refused. Silas then offered to trade wild rabbit meat, but the chief refused again. Silas's face darkened. Lena is in danger. In that case, I have no choice but to take it. He transformed into his beast form, opened his mouth wide, and swallowed the chief whole. Holy cow, the chief was eaten! The boars, seeing this, swarmed toward Silas. He smelled the fruit and followed the scent into a cave. Inside, he found a large stash of the fruit. He grabbed a bag and was about to leave when he was blocked by the angry boars. The boars lit torches, intending to burn him alive. Silas ignored the flames and protected the fruit with his life. He gritted his teeth, endured the pain, and rushed out of the cave. He dragged his battered body and ran back as fast as he could, with the boars in hot pursuit. In the cave, Lena was still coughing. Finally, Silas made it back. He saw that Lena had lost consciousness and immediately transformed back into his human form. He chewed a piece of the fruit and fed it to her. After eating the fruit, Lena slowly opened her eyes. Silas, did you just feed me the fruit? Silas nodded. Are you feeling better? I'm much better now, thank you. Just then they heard footsteps outside the cave. The boar beastman had caught up. For Lena's safety, Silas decided to send her back to the tribe first. But when Lena saw his injuries, she insisted on taking him back to the tribe for treatment. You saved me, I have to repay you. Silas was touched. Lena's attitude toward me seems to be changing, but this was no time for romance. He said firmly, it's just a small injury, I don't need your pity. That's not what I mean. With that, Lena grabbed his waist, wanting to pull him back to the tribe for treatment. But for Lena's safety, Silas insisted on staying behind to lure the boars away. He had only one request, to become Lena's mate. Lena looked at his sincere and determined eyes and was a little hesitant. She said that becoming mates was a serious matter, and that she needed the consent of her other two mates. Silas was overjoyed. But the situation was critical, and he had to get Lena to leave first. The boars were getting closer. In an instant, a dazzling light emanated from Silas's body. He slowly took off the blue gem on his forehead and gently placed it in Lena's hand. "Keep this with you, and I'll always be able to feel if you're safe." Lena was surprised, so the gem on his forehead wasn't natural. With this gem, they could contact each other at any time. Lena looked up and saw Silas's 18-pack again, her face turning red. She quickly turned away. "Wait for me, I'll be back." With that, she ran toward the wolf tribe. The boars had reached the cave entrance. A pair of flashing eyes slowly appeared from within the cave. Silas opened his mouth wide and charged out, vowing to send these boars to their graves. She had just escaped the boars' clutches, only to fall into a wolf's den, where she was nearly defiled by a hungry wolf. Fortunately, Kaiser saved her, but the wolves followed them back to the tribe. Their leader, Aki, was particularly brutal, even ripping off the heads of the tribe's beastmen. A beastman ran back in a panic. Aki and a group of male beastmen have invaded. Shane, hearing this, told Kaiser to stay behind and protect Lena while he led the other beastmen to fight. However, the cunning wolves turned and ran. They split into two groups. Some ran ahead to lure Shane away, while Aki and a group of wolves hid. Meanwhile, Lena regained consciousness, sat up and shouted, "Silas!" When she saw that it was Kaiser, she couldn't help but throw herself into his arms. She suddenly remembered Silas's safety and urged Kaiser to go save him. Kaiser was confused. "Silas, he's a giant snake. He was seriously injured saving me. You have to go save him." With that, Lena gave Kaiser the gem from Silas's forehead. Then, Kaiser led a group of men to rescue Silas. Just then, the shaman brought a bowl of medicine for Lena. Looking at the bowl, she felt like she was looking at a death sentence. The medicine looked even worse than the soup of oblivion. Another beastman rushed in to report that the evil wolves from the Black River tribe had returned, and they were too strong to hold back. Everyone realized they had fallen for a diversion tactic. The shaman quickly told the females to hide in the cellar. "No matter what happens outside, don't come out." Lena, worried about the shaman's safety, urged him to hide with them, but he was resolute. His eyes were filled with a grim determination. He was going to fight the enemy to the death. The shaman took off his necklace and gave it to Lena. "Give this wolf tooth necklace to Shane. Tell him to avenge us." With that, he closed the cellar door. Tears streamed down Lena's face. She knew the shaman was sacrificing his life to protect them. After covering the secret door, the shaman's eyes were sharp and determined. He transformed into his beast form and fearlessly charged the enemy. The Stonefang Wolf tribe has no cowards. With a series of fierce battles, the Stonefang Wolf tribe suffered heavy casualties. The wolf shaman, though covered in wounds, was still unyielding. A hungry wolf, seeing this, bit down hard on his neck and slammed him against a stone wall. The wolf transformed back into his human form and sneered. The shaman recognized him. "Aki, it's you!" Aki raised his claws. "It's me, surprised?" With that, he swiped at the wolf shaman. The shaman lay on the ground, dying, his body twitching, before he slowly closed his eyes. "Shane, you must lead the Stonefang people out of this endless night." In the cellar, the females were terrified. Hazel's stomach suddenly cramped in pain. She was about to give birth. But above them, the evil wolves were searching for Lena, and she didn't dare to make a sound. Only when the footsteps faded did she relax a little. Hazel, gritting her teeth, was clearly at her limit. She had no choice but to give birth in the cellar. Lena found a roll of animal hide and told Hazel to bite on it. "No matter how much it hurts, don't make a sound." To deliver the baby successfully, Hazel pushed with all her might and finally gave birth to the first cub, followed by another and another until she had 8. Wait, there was one more. In the chaos, Hazel gave birth to 9 cubs in total. After giving birth, she finally quieted down, and everyone breathed a sigh of relief. But then one of the cubs peed, spraying everyone. At the same time, Shane sensed something was wrong and ordered everyone to return to the tribe, but they were ambushed by the hungry wolves. The wolves charged, but Shane stood his ground. "Who dares to stop me?" He transformed into his beast form, leaped into the air, and his body emanated an icy chill. Everywhere he passed, everything froze. In an instant, the enemies were all turned into ice sculptures, which Shane shattered with a single blow. The lead shaman was stunned. He realized Shane had awakened a 1-star soul beast and turned to run. Shane immediately ordered everyone to rush back to the tribe. Meanwhile, Kaiser also sensed that Lena was in danger and immediately turned back. But by the time they arrived, it was too late. All the beastmen in the tribe had been killed. Just then, Kaiser arrived. "Where's Lena? Is she okay?" Shane snapped back to reality. He thought that since there were no female bodies, Lena and the other females must have hidden. But the next moment, he froze when he saw the wolf shaman's body. Just then, Kaiser found the entrance to the cellar, and the females were finally rescued. But Lena had fainted. Kaiser quickly picked her up. Lena was in a daze, unable to open her eyes. "Am I dead? Maybe this is all a dream. And when I open my eyes, I'll be back in my bathtub." But a familiar voice echoed in her mind. "Lena, you said you would come back for me. Why didn't you?" Lena was jolted awake by the image of a large black snake and frantically threw herself into a man's arms. Once she realized where she was, she pushed him away. "You big pervert!" Kaiser looked completely innocent and confused. "Lena, don't you remember me?" Lena pretended not to know him. "You're such a big idiot." With that, Kaiser gently pinched her nose. Lena sneezed and fell backward. Just then, Shane rushed in and saw her about to fall flat on her face. He quickly caught her. The wolf's eyes darted around mischievously. Lena frowned. "What are you up to?" "I want to have babies with you." He started sniffing her, only to be kicked away by Kaiser a second later. Lena looked at the seeds she had collected, feeling like a piece of her memory was missing. Suddenly, a familiar voice echoed in her mind. "Lena, why didn't you come back for me?" The voice gave her a splitting headache. Just then, a large hand reached for her, and Lena was startled. She turned to see it was Kaiser. "This is bananas!" Lena muttered. "I'm not going to think about it anymore. My head hurts." Kaiser watched her go, thinking to himself, "Lena seems to have forgotten who this gem belongs to." That evening, the three of them were having a simple hot pot, since the tribe's food had been plundered. Shane planned to go and reclaim their food and avenge the wolf shaman. But the Blackwater tribe had many mixed-breed beastmen. Kaiser came up with a plan: to use the gem from Silas's forehead to lure the wild horse tribe. "How did you get such a precious crystal?" Lena brought it back. Lena looked at it, but couldn't remember anything about the crystal. Her intuition told her it was important. Kaiser gently ruffled her hair. "Don't worry, I'll give it back to you when we're done. But we never had a crystal like this stolen from us. If the wild horse tribe can't find it, then it has nothing to do with us." Shane agreed to the plan. Lena thought to herself that Kaiser wasn't as innocent as he looked. He could spin a lie without batting an eye. Afterward, Shane went to the wild horse tribe. At first, they ignored him. But when Shane took out the precious crystal, the materialistic wild horse's eyes lit up. Shane took the opportunity to whisper in their ears, and they quickly formed an alliance to fight the Blackwater wolf tribe. Shane returned and gave the gem back to Lena. As she was pondering its origin, she triggered another system quest. "Host, please collect 5 different colored crystals. You will receive a special reward upon completion." Lena had almost forgotten about the system. Hearing about a special reward, she was instantly excited. Shane was completely smitten by Lena's cuteness but tried to act calm. Crystals can enhance a beast's soul, so they're very hard for most people to obtain. Lena deflated. Shane, seeing this, handed her a pouch. Inside were crystals. These colorless crystals are called gold coins. They're used as currency in the tribe. Lena, hearing this, seemed to remember something. She had seen Kaiser use gold coins at the market before. She took only one crystal and handed the pouch back to Shane. The little wolf's heart shattered. He thought she was looking down on him for not having enough. Lena explained that she didn't need that many crystals, but Shane insisted on giving her the pouch, and then stormed off to earn more gold coins. Lena took out her stored food and distributed it among the tribe's beastmen. She looked down and saw a pile of fruit pits she had saved from some sweet fruits, and there were quite a lot of them. Just then, the system notification sounded. "Congratulations, host, for collecting 300 seeds." A screen appeared. "The reward is being delivered. Please check." Head gradually appeared on the screen. Lena's jaw dropped. "How do you suddenly have an avatar?" The yellow-haired system avatar looked stern. "Host, please do not waste time on irrelevant topics." A seed fell into Lena's hand. It had a unique fragrance. Lena immediately checked her guide but found no record of it. "This is the seed of a divine tree. Of course, it's not in the first guide. To know what a divine tree is, you need to collect the other guides." Lena was ecstatic. "If I collect all 7 guides, can I summon a divine dragon?" The system was speechless. "Do you think you're Sun Wukong, summoning divine dragons?" Lena couldn't help but laugh. Teasing the cold system was quite fun. The system continued. "This is a dead seed. You can only eat it directly." Lena was disgusted. "Can I have a different reward?" The system fell silent. Hey, don't play dead, you stupid system." The system was so angry its yellow hair almost turned green. "If you don't eat it, I'm taking it back." Lena, seeing that things were serious, was about to put the seed in her mouth, when it suddenly drilled into her stomach on its own. Lena was confused. What's the use of eating it? The divine tree is the source of all plants. It will increase your affinity with nature. With that, the system vanished. The girl, while the big tiger wasn't looking, boldly kissed him, offering herself without hesitation. Kaiser was completely baffled. When he came to his senses, he quickly pushed her away. Get a hold of yourself. I'm perfectly calm and I know exactly what I'm doing. In her past life, she had lived a lonely existence with no one to love or care for her. But since coming to the beast world, she had finally found two people who truly loved her. This time she didn't want to be alone again. Kaiser looked at his tearful wife and gently took her hand. I don't want you to give me your first time on an impulse. I'm afraid you'll regret it later. I won't regret it, Lena said firmly. She wiped her tears, her voice choked with emotion. Will you have cubs with me? As soon as the words left her mouth, she blushed furiously, her hands trembling, afraid the big tiger would refuse. Kaiser pulled her into a tight embrace, then took off his shirt, revealing his muscular 18-pack, and kissed her. This time Lena didn't pull away. The gentle kisses were like feathers against her heart, yet they ignited a wildfire of passion between them. The next day, Lena was so sore, she could barely get out of bed. Just then, the door creaked open, and Kaiser walked in with a basin of water. Lena was instantly embarrassed, not knowing how to face him. Lena, you're dirty. Let me help you wash up. Lena shot up and refused. No, I'll do it myself. But as she spoke, a sharp pain shot through her waist. Yesterday had been too intense, and her whole body was aching. After some coaxing from Kaiser, Lena reluctantly let him help her wash. The big tiger's eyes were hazy. Lena, your skin is so soft, smooth, and fair. Lena was so embarrassed she wanted to dig a hole and hide. Is he thinking about again? At that thought, she quickly got dressed and ran out. I'm going to find Hazel. Once outside, she breathed a sigh of relief. That was close. I feel like that tiger could eat me at any moment. She limped over to find Hazel. Hazel sniffed her and grinned. Heh, you smell like Kaiser. So you two finally... Before she could finish, Lena covered her mouth. Keep your voice down! Her face turned as red as a ripe apple. She quickly grabbed one of Hazel's cubs and started petting it. I'm not talking to an expert like you. When Shane gets back and finds out you've been claimed, he's going to explode. Lena was startled. Will it be that bad? What if they start fighting? Don't worry, it's normal for males to get jealous and fight. They'll fight it out and become one big family. As she spoke, tears welled up in Hazel's eyes, as she remembered her own mates who had died in battle. Lena then remembered what had happened to Hazel, and was about to comfort her, when a beastman rushed in. Lena, Bluebell is about to give birth. The female beastman named Bluebell was wailing on the ground. Lena was speechless. Why are you calling me for a birth? I'm not an obstetrician. She was about to leave when she heard the pregnant woman calling her name. She had no choice but to step in. Well, here goes nothing. She told a beastman to boil water, and asked Hazel to get some pain-relieving primal leaf fruit. Bluebell held onto Lena's hand like a lifeline, afraid she would leave. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Just then, Kaiser brought a basin of hot water. Lena had the pregnant woman eat the primal leaf fruit. Bluebell's mates waited anxiously. After a collective effort, Bluebell successfully gave birth to 5 cubs, including 1 female. Everyone cheered. After all, in the beast world, females were extremely precious. Lena gently held a small wolf cub, and it licked her face affectionately. She marveled at the wonder of this world. Will I also have children in this world? Back home, Lena was exhausted. Kaiser wrapped his arms around her waist and gently squeezed. Tired? Let me give you a massage. With that, his hands began to wander over her body. Lena felt a tingling sensation all over. That's enough! Kaiser pressed against her back. I'm just giving you a massage. Massage my foot, you're clearly up to no good. Lena could feel Kaiser's hot body, and her face turned bright red. Can you please be a little... Before she could finish, Kaiser had pinned her to the bed, and they were at it again. The big tiger and the girl were getting frisky, and Lena couldn't take it anymore, surrendering completely. Just as she was catching her breath, Kaiser asked her to look at his 18-pack. Lena was so embarrassed her toes could have dug a 3-bedroom apartment. Well, the way you said it was so misleading. She looked closely at the beast soul mark on Kaiser's waist. The tiger tattoo now had a crown of thorns. It appeared on the night we consummated our bond. Lena was surprised. So you're upgrading? Is this a coincidence? Kaiser shook his head. It's not a coincidence. It's because you have something magical inside you. Being with you makes a beast's soul stronger. Lena then realized it was the divine tree seed the system had given her. Kaiser was curious and asked how she had gotten it. Lena felt a pang of guilt and avoided his gaze, making up a lame excuse. Someone gave it to me, she thought to herself. I can't just tell you I'm from another world. Seeing that she didn't want to say more, Kaiser didn't press the issue. Remember, don't tell anyone you have the divine tree seed inside you, or those beasts will devour you. Lena nodded eagerly. Got it! Suddenly, a more pressing problem occurred to her. She went to find Hazel, and blushing, asked how females could prevent pregnancy. Hazel was stunned. Why are you asking that? Lena said she didn't want to have cubs so soon. Her words made Hazel laugh. We don't have contraception here. I'm still looking forward to seeing if you'll have a little tiger or a little wolf first. Lena was speechless. The beastmen here had no concept of contraception. After all, children meant the future of the tribe. But in this dangerous world, getting pregnant now was too risky. She tried calling the system, and surprisingly, it appeared. How may I help you, host? Lena immediately put on a fawning smile. Do you have any birth control pills? The system was stunned, its eyes widening like saucers, and then it vanished without a word. Lena had no choice but to look for a solution in her guide. Her eyes lit up. When she found a record of a rootless flower that could suppress a female's ovulation, she thought this might work. So she went to find Kaiser, and, in a sweet voice, said she wanted to go hunting with him. He readily agreed. Lena happily threw herself into his arms. Thank you, Kaiser. Before he could finish, she guessed what he was thinking and quickly moved away. No thanks, I'm tired today. I'm going to bed early. That night, Lena dreamed of that haunting voice again. You don't even remember me? You said you would come back to save me. Don't you know I've been waiting for you? You liar! Lena woke up with a start. The cold, slightly chilling voice felt familiar, but she couldn't remember who it belonged to. The next day, Lena went hunting with Kaiser, and a group of beastmen followed them. They kept calling her Little Bunny, while Lena was focused on finding the rootless flower for contraception. She pushed aside some bushes and finally found it. Then she happily went to meet up with Kaiser, but the next moment she froze. Lena, what's wrong? Look over there. Kaiser followed her gaze and saw a group of beastmen walking toward them. It was Shane returned from his revenge quest. Lena was overjoyed. Shane excitedly shouted, telling everyone, "We won!" He had not only reclaimed all their stolen supplies, but had also raided the enemy's den. Lena ran to greet him. Shane scooped her up and showered her with kisses and hugs. The couple, who hadn't seen each other in a while, held each other tightly. But suddenly, Shane's expression changed. He smelled Kaiser's scent on Lena. He pushed her away and roared in anger. You've been with Kaiser? Lena stammered, not knowing how to explain. Shane was so angry his face turned green. You damned tiger, you took advantage of my absence and claimed Lena. Kaiser's brow furrowed. Lena and I are mates. It's only natural for us to be together. We agreed to compete fairly. You're a liar and a scoundrel. With that, Shane lunged at Kaiser, but his punch missed. He continued to attack relentlessly, but Kaiser easily parried his blows. Shane transformed into his beast form, baring his fangs viciously. Kaiser's expression changed, and he was about to transform as well. The two rivals were on the verge of a full-blown fight. At that critical moment, Lena stood between them. Shane, stop! I wanted to be with Kaiser. Shane's heart shattered. He looked at her with tearful, pitiful eyes. You don't like me at all. In your heart, there's only that stinking tiger. Of course not. Lena was about to explain, but Shane burst into tears and ran away. Lena gave her first time to the big tiger, and the little wolf was overwhelmed with jealousy. He burst into tears and ran off in a fit of rage. Shane is hot-tempered. Let him cool down first. Just as Lena was trying to figure out what to do, she heard crying from behind. A female beastman was sobbing, worried about her mate's injuries. With the wolf shaman gone, the tribe had no doctor. Lena stepped forward and began examining the injured beastman. The female cried and begged, Lena, please save him! In the cave, the injured males were groaning in pain, and Shane was pacing anxiously. Just then, he heard Lena call out, Shane, do you have any alcohol and crisp fruits? Lena was speechless. This guy's jealousy was off the charts. She finally snapped, I need the alcohol and fruit to save people. Are you going to get them or not? The little wolf immediately backed down and grumpily brought her the alcohol and fruit. Lena roared, What are you grumbling about? Come here and help me hold him down while I treat his wound. The other beastmen were astonished. They never knew Lena knew medicine. They held down the injured beastman's limbs. The patient was still confused. When Lena started cleaning his wound with alcohol, making him scream in pain, then she applied the crushed, crisp fruit to the wound. After a while, the patient's pain subsided. Everyone was amazed and praised Lena as a miracle doctor. Lena then organized everyone to help bandage the other injured men. After a long time, she was exhausted. Just then, Shane walked over, his proud expression tinged with concern. He crouched down. Lena, seeing this, asked, Are you going to carry me back? Shane huffed, Obviously, get on. Lena secretly smiled. He was such a tsundere. She carefully climbed onto Shane's strong wolf back. The rugged mountain path was rough under his paws, but his steps were steady. The mountain wind carried the unique scent of wolf fur, and Lena couldn't resist nibbling on his perked-up wolf ear. Shane instantly blushed. What are you doing? Don't try to seduce me. Lena hugged his neck tightly. I'm just glad you came back safely. Shane didn't quite understand what she meant. Lena explained, I had a nightmare that something happened to you all. Shane felt her body trembling and quickly changed the subject. Don't think you can just be with Kaiser and ignore me. Lena's lips twitched. In this world, with Shane and Kaiser by her side, her fear had dissipated. Back at the cave, Lena handed Shane a piece of roasted meat. The little wolf reluctantly took a bite, but he was secretly overjoyed. After all, Lena had made this for him. He was so excited his ears turned pink. Kaiser handed Lena a bowl of meat soup, and she beamed. The meat in Shane's hand suddenly didn't taste as good. Bold words escaped his lips. You're sleeping with me tonight. Lena almost choked on her soup. Tonight? I'm your mate. If you can be with the tiger, why can't you be with me? Lena was speechless, not knowing how to respond. She looked at Kaiser for help. He said, as long as Lena agrees, I won't interfere. Shane took Lena's hand. Lena, I want to show you something. He led her to his room. A large bed was covered in flowers and jewels. I decorated it. Do you like it? Shane was like a domineering CEO, showering her with gifts and placing a diamond-studded flower crown on her head. His gaze was firm. Lena, let me be your true male. Lena's heart pounded. The little wolf was impatient and pulled off her clothes. She quickly covered her chest. What are you doing? Shane proudly showed off his beast soul and pinned her to the bed. Lena flatly refused, saying she wasn't ready to be a mother. Shane was heartbroken and disappointed, but he didn't want to force her, so he had to suppress his burning desire. Lena, seeing how much he was suffering, felt a little sorry for him and suggested applying a contraceptive potion. Shane's sadness immediately turned to joy, his face turning red to the tips of his ears, and he got a nosebleed from excitement. She snatched the potion from him. No, that's too embarrassing. I'll do it myself. Shane looked pitifully at her. Lena was firm and made him turn around. The little wolf reluctantly obeyed. Then she poured out the potion and carefully applied it to herself. At that critical moment, Shane suddenly turned around. Lena felt a hot presence behind her. She quickly turned, and before she could speak, he pulled her into a tight embrace. Lena, are you done yet? My heart is about to explode. Lena couldn't resist his intense gaze, and the potion fell from her hand. Then they sealed their bond with a passionate kiss, their love blossoming like a field of flowers. Lena barely made it through the night. The couple had been fighting monsters all night long, but the energetic little wolf wanted to continue and was kicked out by his wife. Shane ran right into Kaiser, looking incredibly smug. Lena's first litter of cubs will definitely be mine. Kaiser's face filled with killing intent. We'll see about that. Seeing that Shane and Lena had consummated their bond, Kaiser felt an unbearable pain in his heart. Shane, on the other hand, was grinning from ear to ear and went to cook a large pot of meat. With a wolf cub feeding her meat and a tiger handing her soup, Lena felt both awkward and pressured, as if she could be eaten by the two beasts at any moment. A few days later, the injured beastman had fully recovered, all thanks to Lena. Shane scooped up his wife and held her high. Lena, you're amazing. You're the female I chose. Lena was speechless. Are you praising me or yourself? Shane also suggested that Lena become the wolf tribe's shaman. She was stunned and quickly said she only knew a little and couldn't take on such a role. But Shane insisted that the tribe's beastmen trusted her. Kaiser agreed. That's right, everyone has great faith in you. You should give it a try. Lena thought for a moment, but still felt she wasn't qualified. If someone in the tribe gets hurt, I can help out. Just then, she noticed the beast soul mark on Shane's shoulder. The wolf tattoo now had a crown of thorns. She remembered it wasn't there before, but it had appeared after she and Shane had been together last night. Shane looked at his own beast mark, confused. After Kaiser's explanation, he learned that being with Lena could strengthen his beast soul. Hearing this, Shane was eager to be with Lena again. She quickly hid behind Kaiser. I don't want to be with you. I'm resting tonight, just sleeping. The little wolf was disappointed. You like Kaiser that much? What do I not have that he does? Shane insisted on sleeping with Lena, but Kaiser said she was too tired and should sleep alone tonight. Shane snorted. How do I know you won't sneak in? The two rivals were on the verge of a fight. Lena roared, Stop fighting, let's just all sleep together. The three of them looked at each other, and the room fell silent. Kaiser was the first to agree. Shane declared, Good idea. Let's all sleep together. Who's afraid of who? Lena was speechless. I just said that offhand and they didn't even object. The two beasts then started moving, the two beds together. Lena looked at the giant bed they had made and wanted to cry. Now she couldn't even use the excuse that the bed was too small. The three of them lay quietly on the bed, and the atmosphere was incredibly awkward. Kaiser urged Lena, "Hurry up and sleep." Shane moved closer. "I'll warm your feet for you." Lena quickly refused. "Bro, I really don't need that. You're making me nervous." 5 minutes later, Lena was fast asleep. The little wolf pouted. She really fell asleep. Kaiser sat up. She must be really tired. He kissed his wife on the forehead. Shane, seeing this, rolled his eyes. "Kissing Lena right in front of me. I'm going to kiss her too." With that, he puckered his lips and showered Lena's face with kisses. Although the scene of the three of them sleeping in the same bed was a bit strange, there was a warm feeling of them all keeping each other warm. As the snow gradually melted, winter was coming to an end. The injured beastmen had also recovered, and more of them were coming to Lena for treatment. She prescribed medicine according to her guide, and it was usually effective. So she temporarily took over the shaman's position and earned everyone's sincere respect. Spring arrived and everything came back to life. Suddenly, ding! The system notification sounded. "Congrats on making it through the winter. The quest reward is now being delivered, please check." A moment later, Lena felt a burning sensation in her hand. She looked down and saw 5 sparkling rings. She casually picked up a pink ring and put it on without a second thought. But after putting it on, she regretted it deeply. The system informed her that this was a subordinate ring, and that the storage space could only be activated by wearing the master ring. And once the rings were on, they couldn't be taken off. Lena had an idea to put on the master ring as well, but no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't get it on. The system reminded her again. The subordinate ring is controlled by the master ring. The person wearing the master ring will be in control. Seeing the system's smug look, Lena was furious. "I'm not going to be controlled by anyone. I'll keep this master ring for myself." But if no one wears the master ring, the space can't be activated. Back home, Lena was listless. Kaiser thought his wife was being bullied and gently pulled her into his arms. "Did something happen? Tell me, and I'll help you solve it." Lena thought for a moment. In this world, the person she trusted most was Kaiser. After much consideration, if she had to choose someone to wear the master ring, Kaiser was the most suitable. So she personally put the master ring on his hand. Kaiser looked at the ring, confused. Lena didn't explain much, just told him to try saying, "Open space." He did as he was told. Open space. A dazzling golden light flashed. When they slowly opened their eyes, they saw a square opening in front of them. Lena was amazed. It really is a space. She tried throwing a pillow in, and found that it really could store things. Then she put all her treasures into the space. The space was incredibly large, as if it could hold an infinite amount of things. But she didn't know if it could store living things. Lena suddenly remembered she had 3 rings left, and gave one to Shane, hiding the fact that it was a subordinate ring. The little wolf was overjoyed, but Lena felt a little guilty. Shane's eyes darted toward her, and the next moment he pounced on her. "You gave me a gift. Does that mean you like me now too? If you weren't so horny all the time, I'd like you more." Shane was stunned. "I can't help it. I only feel this way for you." With that, he silenced his wife with a kiss, and they couldn't help but get frisky. The little wolf wanted to be with his wife again, but was slapped across the face. But he wasn't giving up. 2 hours later, Lena stumbled out of the room and ran right into Kaiser. She panicked, feeling a little guilty. Kaiser's eyes narrowed, and he saw the hickey on her neck. He was immediately overcome with jealousy and wanted to kill Shane. He turned and left with a dark expression. Lena, sensing his bad mood, quickly ran after him and grabbed his hand. "You're not yourself today." "What's wrong?" Kaiser's face was as cold as a glacier. He hugged her tightly. "Lena, I regret it. I should have taken you somewhere else for the winter. Then you wouldn't have become Shane's mate." The big tiger was so angry his heart, liver, spleen, lungs, and kidneys all ached. And with the influence of the master ring, he even had the urge to kill Shane. Lena quickly calmed him down, promising not to find any other males. Just then the system sneered. "Heh heh, don't be so sure, woman." This made Lena furious. "You annoying system!" Meanwhile, Shane had cooked some meat and happily brought a bowl to Lena. He happened to see the ring on Kaiser's hand and proudly showed off his own, too. Kaiser's face instantly darkened. He really wanted to punch this smug wolf in the head. A few days later, Lena had collected more and more seeds. Shane excitedly ran in and told her there was a piece of land at the foot of the mountain that was perfect for planting. So they went there, but they didn't have shovels. So Lena had to tie a sharpened stone to a stick to make a simple hoe, but she was too weak to dig. Kaiser, seeing this, took the hoe from her and started digging according to her instructions. Watching his perfect muscles, Lena drooled. Shane on the side rolled his eyes. It's just digging. I can do that too. But when he swung the hoe, he broke the handle. So he just started digging with his claws and quickly tilled the land. Lena couldn't help but admire him. You're amazing. Shane was so proud his lips almost touched the sky. Kaiser's face darkened. No, my possessiveness is acting up again. He gripped the hoe handle tightly. For Lena, I have to work on my self-control. A girl traveled to the beast world, with a wolf husband helping her farm and a tiger husband catching fish. Life was good. Tonight, Lena decided to show off her skills and make a grand fish feast for her two beast mates. The big tiger took a bite, and the delicious taste instantly spread through his mouth. Even the little wolf, who had never liked fish, was completely won over by her fish feast. Shane stared at his wife with affection. Lena knew this was trouble. That look, does he want to, again? At that thought, she quickly ran out. But as soon as she escaped the wolf's den, she fell into the tiger's den. Kaiser suddenly wrapped his arms around her waist from behind, pinned her to the bed, and they started getting frisky again. Spring arrived, and the vegetables Lena had planted sprouted. But they grew strangely large, ridiculously large. She had to use all her strength to tie the leaves into bundles. When she cooked them, she was worried they wouldn't be edible, but they turned out to be incredibly delicious, even more so than fish soup. However, Kaiser and Shane thought they were just okay. Shane, chewing on a leaf, complained, "This is so tough. Is it for us to grind our teeth on?" Lena was speechless. You males may not like it, but the female beastmen love it. Just then, Hazel walked in. Lena, do you have any more of that sweet cabbage you gave me? Other females also praised the cabbage. Seeing how much everyone liked it, Lena decided to distribute the seeds. And so, the Stonefang wolf tribe began farming. But Lena noticed a strange phenomenon. The vegetables grown by the other beastmen were tiny, while hers were gigantic. As she was pondering the reason, the system notification sounded, because you've got the God tree seed inside you. The divine tree seed increases your affinity with nature. So the trees are all competing to grow huge to win your favor. Lena gently patted a small cabbage. You've all worked so hard. Just then, Shane came over and asked her to go fishing. The river was full of fish, and he was confident. Heh, this time I'll show you what I'm made of. With that, he jumped into the river. But half an hour went by and still no fish. Lena looked at him with disdain. Your fishing skills are way worse than Kaiser's. You haven't caught a single one. Shane was indignant. Who says I can't? He dove back into the river and started paddling furiously. Lena couldn't help but laugh. What a silly wolf. Suddenly, a fish jumped out of the river and flopped in front of her. Then another one. As soon as she picked them up, several more jumped onto the shore. Soon, she had a full basket. Her luck was incredible. It was as if the fish were just giving themselves to her. She walked along the river, picking up fish. Shane finally caught a fish, only to find that Lena was gone. Lena had wandered far away. Just as she was about to turn back, she heard the sound of rushing water behind her. She turned and saw a naked man. He had a cold expression and an icy tone. "I've finally found you." Lena was completely baffled. She had no idea who this handsome but cold man was. Why is he looking at me with such hatred and pain? So you've already forgotten me? You promised you would come back for me. Hearing this, Lena's head throbbed. Silas began to recount their past together. I waited for you in the stone cave for a long time. The snow outside melted, and the flowers on the hillside withered, but you never came back. Lena couldn't remember anything about her past with Silas. Silas's face was filled with rage. You lied to me! Lena, sensing the killing intent in his eyes, turned and ran. Silas raised his indestructible snake tail and coiled it around her. Her jaw dropped. Holy cow, it's a snake! As her fish basket fell, the fish flopped around. When Lena regained consciousness, she found herself in a strange cave. She quickly got up. I remember now I was captured by that man's snake tail. Suddenly, she heard a rustling sound outside the cave. It was Silas. You're awake? Lena quickly asked. Where is this? Silas answered seriously. This is our home. Lena was confused. You must have the wrong person. We've never met. Before she could finish, Silas crushed a fruit in his hand and lunged at her. The black snake flicked its tongue, kissing the girl's face, then lifted her high and pinned her against the wall, his eyes cold and sharp. You promised you would come back, but you never did. You lied to me. Lena's legs went weak. I'm sorry, I might have forgotten some things after I had a fever. As she spoke, tears welled up in her eyes. Silas remained cold on the outside, but his heart ached. He pulled her into his arms and licked her face. But the next moment, his expression turned menacing. You smell of other males. I waited for you to come back and you were with someone else. He ripped her clothes and tore the pendant from her neck. Do you remember this gem? I gave it to you. Lena was completely blank. She had no memory of it. Can you please not get so close to me? I feel sick. Hearing this, Silas's eyes narrowed. Rather than watch you leave and go to another male, I'd rather keep you with me forever. He bit down on her neck, and blood trickled down her skin. It hurts. Is he trying to kill me? Lena felt dizzy, and images of Silas gradually appeared in her mind. All their past memories came flooding back. She remembered how he had been seriously injured saving her, how he had cared for her, but she had left him alone in the cold stone cave, letting winter turn to spring without ever going back for him. Lena snapped back to her senses. I remember! She hugged Silas tightly, her tears soaking her face. Silas, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have forgotten you. Silas was stunned for a few seconds, asking in disbelief, You remember me? At that critical moment, there was a loud explosion and rocks flew everywhere. It was Shane. Snake Beast, let go of Lena! Lena was too weak to even make a sound. Shane, seeing this, froze, and then transformed into his beast form. You hurt Lena! I'll kill you! With that, he lunged at Silas. Silas's eyes narrowed. He raised his indestructible snake tail and swatted Shane away. Fortunately, Kaiser was there to catch him. Kaiser, you're just in time. This snake beast captured Lena. Let's kill this snake together. Kaiser's face was filled with killing intent. Let go of Lena! Now! With a roar, he also transformed into his tiger form. Silas was defiant. I won't give Lena up even if I die. He also transformed into his giant snake form and bit down on Shane. At that moment, Lena's breathing was shallow and she was on the verge of death. Kaiser knew something was wrong and roared at Silas, What did you do to Lena? She's dying! Silas then realized that Lena had been poisoned by his venom. The best antidote for snake venom was snake blood. Kaiser suggested trying it on Shane first. If he was fine after drinking the snake blood, then they could save Lena. Shane wanted to curse Kaiser's entire family. You stinking tiger, you're using me as a guinea pig. But when he saw his own poisoned paw, he had no choice but to be the test subject. Silas bit his own hand and let Shane drink his blood. Miraculously, after drinking the blood, Shane's wound slowly healed. Silas quickly picked up Lena and fed her his blood. Everyone waited anxiously. Soon, Lena finally woke up. She was about to apologize to Silas, but could only make gurgling sounds. You're weak. The venom has just been neutralized. You'll be able to talk after tonight. Just then, Shane rushed over. Give Lena back to me. You've hurt her so much and you still won't let go? Silas's heart ached. He thought about how Lena always got hurt when she was with him, and this time she had almost died from his venom. He remembered his childhood, how everyone treated him like a plague, and how any beastman who got close to him met with misfortune. Filled with helplessness and reluctance, he handed Lena over to Shane. It's better to let her go. She never liked me anyway. Shane turned and left with Lena. She looked back at Silas, wanting him to put her down so she could talk to him, but she couldn't make a sound. Kaiser saw the look on her face. Lena, you haven't recovered yet. Don't talk. He turned to Silas. I know you saved Lena last time, but this time you almost killed her. Now we're even. Their eyes met, and the air was thick with tension. Silas ultimately chose to let go, watching as Lena was taken away from him. In the end, he was alone again. As soon as she could talk, she immediately ran to find the big black snake, Silas, but was stopped at the door by Kaiser. The big tiger picked her up and carried her back. Rest well, don't run around. Lena struggled, throwing small punches, and lied. I just went out to water the veggies. But Kaiser saw right through her. Seeing that she was still determined, Kaiser came up with a plan. Shane's leg was bitten by that big snake while he was saving you. Lena's heart sank with worry. Kaiser continued to add fuel to the fire. If Shane knew you wanted to go find that snake, he'd definitely throw a fit. Thinking of Shane's pitiful expression, Lena was filled with guilt. Then I'll just stay home and cook for him until he gets back. Kaiser patted her head. Good girl, now I can relax. Just then, Shane walked in. Hearing that Lena wanted to go find Silas, his face immediately darkened, and he bared his fangs. When I'm healed, I'm going to kill that snake. Kaiser quietly told him, Don't be rash. For now, you should use your injury to keep Lena from going down the mountain. Shane thought this was a good idea. Lena vaguely overheard their conversation, and Shane immediately shut up and acted innocent. Lena checked Shane's wound and saw that it was covered in scabs and dirt. She took out some medicine and carefully cleaned and bandaged it. Stay home and don't get the wound wet. If it gets infected, we'll have to amputate. Shane didn't know what amputate meant. Lena gestured with her hand. It means we'll have to cut off your arm. This scared Shane so much he fell on his butt. Then I'll listen to you. I won't go out. For the next few days, the couple was inseparable and Shane was overjoyed. But Lena was distracted. Shane saw through her. Are you thinking of going down the mountain to find that stinking snake? Lena's heart skipped a beat. I promised I'd go find him. I have to clear up the misunderstanding. Shane's jealousy flared up, afraid his little wife would fall for the snake. But Lena was determined and ran out in a huff. She sat alone by the river, holding the gem Silas had given her. I need to let him know I didn't mean to abandon him. Just as she was about to get up and find Silas, Kaiser appeared. Lena, what are you doing here alone? Lena felt a little guilty and couldn't come up with an excuse. Kaiser frowned and picked her up. Come on, I'll take you to see something cool. In no time they got there. Lena's eyes lit up. It was the bird feather vines they had planted, and they were bearing fruit. According to her guide, this fruit could be used as a substitute for flour. Lena asked Kaiser to cut one open. He swung his claw once and easily split it in half. Lena dug out the pulp and laid it out to dry. Then she drew a picture of a stone mill on the ground. Kaiser, can you find me a stone and grind it like this? Kaiser immediately went to get a stone, and after some grinding and shaping, he actually made a stone mill. Lena put the dried pulp into the mill to grind it. Just then, Shane jumped out, fuming. Don't just let Kaiser do all the work, I can help too. Lena had him help grind the pulp. With everyone's help, they finally made flour in the beast world. Lena tasted it. This is it! With flour, I can have dumplings. She danced with joy and ran back to make them. Soon the delicious dumplings were ready, and the two beasts ate them with gusto. Lena couldn't help but cry. It really tastes like dumplings. I never thought I'd be able to eat them in the beast world. Kaiser, seeing this, smiled and said he would plant more bird feather vines in the future. Lena insisted on helping, but she felt a little guilty. Kaiser's eyes glinted. He could always see right through her. Shane also sensed something was wrong and immediately became wary. Are you planning to go see that big snake? Lena, seeing she'd been found out, could only laugh awkwardly. Shane was filled with jealousy. What's so great about that stinking snake? Is it because he has an extra bell? Lena's head was spinning. What kind of outrageous thing are you saying? The two beasts stared at her. Lena, do we have to… Before they could finish, she quickly cut them off. Hey, that's enough. I promise I won't go see Silas again. With that, she picked up the pot and stormed off.